Rose,
side of the tracks
Rose,
too, Rose.
what about countries with eminent domain? And what about countries that charge you property taxes?
You're not in
And
one of
when you
those
stop
countries,
paying
buddy.
your property tax,
yeah,
they
you
seize your
checkmated me
property.
with that. You checkmated me with that. That's so screwed up, and it just goes to show how much I fucking hate the government. Eminent domain is just the worst thing in the world, isn't it? That they could take away your property because they want to build a freaking freeway. It drives me insane.
Hey Rose, what
That's
about
why I want to do the
what
PMA
about countries
thing.
that charge property tax, and when you stop
Civil
paying the
asset
tax, they
forfeiture
seize
is
your
the worst.
property?
Trust.
I know someone right now who's working on figuring out how to not. He's suing his township for property taxes, and I love his
He doesn't need to sue
strategy.
them.
You can actually get a land patent and
No, I know about all
Notice,
that.
yeah.
That's the second
All of
time
that.
I've heard that word, and I've
I'm-
never heard that before.
I'm
Why
just
is that?
bogus.
Factual.
I'm
Meets
trying to
and
explain.
bounds.
I'm trying to explain how this one particular person is doing it without the land patent thing because he wants to do it within the courts, playing in their sandbox, and get them
Because they
to
own it.
does he happen to have a on his passport stamp that says that he has diplomatic immunity?
No, he doesn't care about any of that shit.
I'm
And
just
that's why I'm
saying.
really interested in it.
I know someone that's doing the same thing,
Spanish
except they're
change. Christopher
they got that.
Gronsky of episode 167 will help anyone with their passport. KL of episode 256, 274, 285, 299, 393.5, 394.5, 484, and 551 can help anybody with all of that stuff. But what I'm trying to share right now is somebody else named Alphonse Fagiolo, and what he's doing is challenging the definition of a tax assessment and arguing that there's no way that they could actually have an accurate tax assessment, just disqualifying the whole process. So I'm really curious to see how that
Can you
goes.
spell his last name, please?
Fagiolo, Faggiolo. And if you want to contact me on Telegram, I can connect you with the groups for all of these people.
Yeah. I'm in Alphonse's group on Telegram. He's dope.
What's your Telegram? Do you have a group?
Rose,
My Telegram is Rose of Crow 777, ROSEOFCRROW777. And that's my favorite thing to do, is pointing people in the direction that they want to go in this whole so-called freedom movement, whether someone wants to change their passport, change their status, decline taxes through like David Merlin, or
I'm a Native American now.
Right, like an American state national, native, indigenous man on the land, all of that stuff. Whatever someone wants to do, I know the person to contact them with and connect them with their tribe. So like one person I would never add to the jurisdictionary, but I would definitely add them to the being on the land group. So people contact me and tell me what you're interested in. I could connect you with people who believe.
I am interested in getting married.
I was born in America.
Get a trust. Get a private ecclesiastic.
I have a trust already.
Rose, if you don't want dick pics, this might be a good time to tell Scott, tell AC.
No. That'll never happen with me.
I have never even taken
Harmon.
a picture of my dick. So,
Flow State, I want to read something I wrote yesterday.
I's married, by the way.
Oh no!
I have to answer his question first. He said he wanted to get married. You need to download the app. 100G singles. It just came out, and you won't be able to make a profile yet because it's in beta testing with 200 people. But I guarantee if you download that app and you save it for when it's full blown, like ready to be released, that's gonna be where you find your wife. Kendra G Media.
I've been married.
Kendra
once.
G.
I
That's what Jack
I'll
Talcott
go
went
out
on.
again.
What?
Kendra G is what Jack Talcott went on.
I mean, I might make an exception for you, but what did you say it was? I need a pen.
Hey, Rose.
Yeah.
When you're done with this,
he was saying he wanted to marry you, Rose, the way you were talking.
Hey, I said it first.
You won me at dead puppies. I can't help it.
Rose, I need you to take care of me.
Hey, Rose.
That is the least appealing wedding proposition I think I've ever heard out of anybody, Scott.
Worst things have happened to better people.
You can
so
do
I'm
better
all right
than
with
that. I'm going to
No,
say
I'm naked on the show. When I do the show, I'm naked. Then they look at the show and they, am I naked? I mean, and I mean, this is how dumb the white race is. What are we supposed to do?
Still bleeds the ears.
Can I talk sexy to Rose for a minute?
No, let me ask your
No,
serious
God,
question
no.
first. Shut up. Hey, Rose.
It's legal sexy, you fuckhead.
Hey, Rose, what's your take on the Free State Project? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Tell me what it is. Is it the one in Canada?
It's in New Hampshire. They're like trying to do like a internal grassroots Tea Party type movement.
I'm not familiar with that, so I'll have to.
Shit! You should look into that. I think that would be right up your alley.
Look into West Virginia too.
I love learning new things and putting it, just adding it into my box of things.
Just Google Free State Project. It's in New Hampshire.
Your children will be taught combat skills early as age 5 in order to crush the competition when they fully mature. Little Deborah and Jesse need to fire a pistol with precision accuracy while drowning out the screams of the non-believers. Good job.
Okay, well, having already looked at it for a little bit during that thing, it says that it's libertarians, and I don't think that it's particularly helpful for people to identify with a political party because I don't think that voting matters. I think that it's all just people being polled, and that all of the people who are running for president and stuff like that, I think that they're all friends behind the scenes, like Putin.
They're all family.
Yeah,
Placebo
so I don't really. So that kind of turned me off. But about the whatever principles they've adopted, if it's virtuous and they want to help each other and try to start something good with each other, then I'm sure that it's a positive thing. But I just wish they didn't call themselves libertarians.
So you're not like a Ron Paul fan or something like that?
I was in 2007. I absolutely loved him then, but now I'm just not really into politics. I just kind of see it as like two wings of the same bird.
I'm not into politics either, but how do you get out of politics at this point?
You don't.
You just stop subscribing to it.
You build something and move to what you build and disregard the correct.
So a bunker in the woods is that what you suggest?
Not necessarily. You could actually just opt out of it in your mind. It could be just changing your way of thinking and the way that you live your life. Like kind of how during the COVID hoax, I was not in the reality that people were living in with getting vaccinated and wearing the mask. I lived my life completely the same and I never changed any of my behaviors. And I just rolled around being a shining bright light that made everyone feel like a fucking idiot when they were around me because I'm the one that's supposed to be like, I'm sick, I've got a compromised immune system. But they're seeing this shiny bright light rolling around, not afraid of getting sick. And so just those little things, that is what's going to change the world when you affect the people in your immediate sphere of influence.
But don't you want to have neighbors
what she's talking about real quick. See, you got to remember, Rose is in a wheelchair. She's paralyzed partly, mostly. So when she's talking about these people and she's doing that, and she's the one that's supposed to be sick, that's what the insight is saying. But yet they're the ones acting sick. Yeah.
That's what she just said.
I'm not.
Well, I like your ideas, Rose. I wish we could find neighbors that shared all of our views and we could all get together and be friends.
But that's the problem, isn't it, with getting the quote unquote land? I've been having people talk about, we got to create an authentic community where we're all going to move to the same land. And isn't it so sad that every single fucker who has tried to put together a community, they like buy the land and then they just end up using it for themselves and not doing the thing.
You should check out the meetings for the PMA that me and Mindful Exposures are doing.
I got a bunch of other people to buy land that I will use for my own selfish ends.
I got land, but I got shitty neighbors, so I don't know what good it does to have all that land.
Have guns because you're gonna have to fight them eventually.
Oh yeah. I'm ready for the zombie apocalypse. So
that's not gonna happen.
Place on mine.
It's already happening, Chuck. They're called Democrats. They're out trying to eat your brains.
They got some of yours.
No,
they're all the same.
Never.
What was the name of that app again?
Kendra G Singles.
Oh my God, that's one Talcott went on.
That's the one Talcott went on.
I'm the one that told him.
You are?
I'm the one that told him.
Rose.
On Facebook, the clip of him has over 100,000 views.
And you are so mean.
I'm the only person, but he's not capitalizing on it.
He should have been selling something, so he can go back one more time. But I'm
I'll
just so
stick to
the AC
Facebook.
and the AM, I'm not suggesting you do what Jack Talcott did. This is an app that was just released that's associated with this large following that this beautiful woman has created. So now she's got millions of followers and it's a huge single show. But forget about the show. This is just an app where it's just like any other kind of Tinder. But I really think that that's going to be the biggest new dating app in the world.
Have you heard of the quantum user experience?
Have I heard about what?
Of the quantum user experience, like Millennial Millie and her husband started it along with the truckers from the trucker strike and shit. They all got in on it, invented a new kind of what's the word, encryption, and that doesn't operate like normal encryption, and basically they don't store your name or anything like that. It's an internet version 2.0. They got their own, like Amazon. They got 2 banks working with them that'll
no, they don't.
Yeah, they really do.
No, they don't.
All right. That sounds awesome. And I'm sure it's really cool, but I just
know your customer laws. It's illegal. What you just described is illegal.
No, it's a matter of it being like a business account, basically. He's got just check out.
I understand it. I was a banker for 10 years. I have a degree in economics. This is my forte. What you're describing is illegal.
The PMA thing has gotten half of the people in trouble over the past.
I will make it legal.
Flow State, tell me what you think about this. People would create public member associations for like their little grocery store or their little club with their friends in order to get away from the COVID tyranny, right? But then after the tyranny ended, all these people kept doing the PMA thing, and then they got in trouble because they didn't realize that they weren't doing it properly, and it didn't actually protect them individually. It only protected the entity that they had created. Could you comment on that?
Correct. It won't, because every person who's an authorized signer on the account, so everybody who can write checks off of that account or possess a debit card, has to go through the same background check. All it is an intermediary, but you're still individually on the hook and identified.
Well,
really quick, the way that you could possibly get out of that, though, is not by doing a 501c3 church, but the other kind of like 508 whatever church, but you have to actually meet the 12 requirements of a church.
There's no business entity structure I ever encountered that lets you forego having an individual as the authorized signer, because as we know, an institution cannot sign something. It's not an actual entity. The individuals who are able to sign on the account have to be identified all the way through.
Interesting. But I both subjects were kind of separate ones. I drifted from one to the other, but apparently on the debit cards that they're going to be having issued, it's just going to have the company name as the. But
they're issuing them to individual people. When you get, there has to be an authorized signer.
What happens is they have tokens 1 for 1 with the US dollar, and that's the only money that we have in it, and the company is taking responsibility for the making. I don't know how it works fully as far as the money part goes. It's still in the beta stages, but they have something going. I mean,
so when you have a business account like that going, you can have a business account or a church or whatever entity. They all work the same.
Oh no, this is just the company.
Right. They all from the banking side, they all work the same. Every organization can own accounts, right? So AC Inc. owns the checking account, but somebody has to be able to sign for that, because AC Inc. can't sign checks. So AC and the AM has to sign the check. So AC and the AM is an authorized signer in the account. That means AC and the AM has gone through all the checks with the FBI in the background thing for know your customer laws, which is a banking requirement. There is not a way around it. I would be super suspicious of anybody saying they've found a way to not have it done.
In America, why can't you do KYC things for like crypto?
They do. Then you see that with exchanges. That's why, like XRP, you've got to go through like 3 different exchanges to get XRP.
Well, I wouldn't get XRP because it's a federal like nonsense, but or like anyway.
You just give an example.
But no, like on a shit, I forget what crypto it is. You can't, if you're from America, you can't do the KYC checks. Like they won't let you. Same thing on any Chinese crypto website. Like you're not allowed to do KYC unless you're from another country.
And that's why you generally can't use those in America.
Those
exchanges. I mean, I guess I don't know exactly what you're referring to. I don't
know the structure of it, but
I'll just broadly leave it at this. Anybody who suggests crypto is not controlled is out of their fucking mind.
I agree
what they want to believe. Anybody who says that they can circumvent the know your customer laws by using an intermediary institution, they're probably swindling people, because there is not a way to do that. And you can have a debit card show up at your house that's in the company name, but if you individually didn't sign and go through the know your customer background for it, you're not supposed to have that debit card. That's issued to somebody who did sign it.
Once it's out of the beta program, like with the tokens and shit, it's not crypto, by the way, but it's tokens that are always 1-for-1 with the US dollar. It's not decentralized, but if once it gets out of beta, I would be more than happy to tell you whenever I know more, like how it's supposed to go. But
we can look at it if you want to. I mean, it might be a good individual segment just to do the two of us to go through it if people are buying into this. But I'll tell you right now, I can't imagine there's anything you'll show me that will change my mind. It's a scam.
All right.
Maybe someday we'll have decentralized internet flow.
We won't, though. That's the thing. The internet
hope one day we can.
Specifically not decentralized.
This version of the internet is doomed. It's 100% owned by our federal government, and they own all the switches.
That's
worldwide.
the problem.
They can just shut it off, like. Boop.
So
that's why the quantum user experience
to trade our gold bars. I agree.
Unless you're out there digging your own cables to run internet through, it's not ever going to happen. As long as you're using somebody else's infrastructure, you're on the hook. Nothing that ever happens online is private. I think that people.
Rose, could they close your 777's site down? Like Flo's saying, could they close it down if they wanted to?
Yeah, the U.S. government can do anything at once, even if it doesn't have the.
Hi, your name isn't Rose.
Oh, sorry.
The internet service provider could take us down anytime they want, and probably for a really stupid reason too. So it just
one button, all your crypto's gone.
Well, I'm not talking about crypto. I'm talking about access to their website or use the website. Don't you remember that in 2020, Amanda Vollmer, all of a sudden the Canadian government just said, this can't be your website anymore. So then she had to change from .com to .net.
and stuff like that. Yeah, they just took her down in 10 seconds. She was gone.
Yeah. It's super easy to do.
Doctor.
And all your emails and all your cell phone numbers, again, they control everything. So again, you'll have stone tools and gold bars. That's it. That's all your only option.
People really keep trying to find a way to use the internet that is private.
The quantum user experience.
The best way I found is I type real softly.
and that's the best way I've heard.
I can't grab the set-top box.
Hey, Rose, I got another oddball question for you. Have you ever heard of Prospera off of Honduras?
Nope.
You need to look into that one. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that as well.
Okay, well, maybe you should email me a list of all the things you want me to.
That's it. It's just those two. Prospera is a experiment they're trying to do. It's like a charter city-state they're trying to create off of Honduras, and it's the closest thing I can find to a libertarian paradise or whatever.
Yeah, if she doesn't write it down, she won't remember what you're saying.
Right. I don't remember what the shows are about while we're recording them. I don't adopt the information into my brain until I'm transcribing the episode. And
I thought you had a photographic memory or whatever.
That's what I'm saying. I'm watching myself type it out, and I'm watching the words pop up on my screen. And there's something about listening to it while I'm typing it out and looking at the sentence on the screen. Something about that combination.
She's using visual, auditory, and kinesthetic all together, and it's subjecting it to her memory. And it's like she has a file system. She quite well understands.
Like,
how long ago was the last time you saw the puppy?
I'll put it in private chat for you, Rose.
Rose, I put something that I wrote yesterday in the private chat. Just tell me what you think of it if you feel like reading it.
Okay,
Anybody else is welcome to comment on it.
And I'm drier than the fiery pits of hell.
This will make you dry up, flow state. These paragraphs will probably make you clam up. Hey, I at risk of getting kicked out. Go read it.
My butthole's already clenched right up.
Can you just summarize it? It looks really long.
Oh, no, I'm not gonna.
All right, I don't want to marry you anymore. Goodbye.
Guys, can we?
You are the.
Can we get it the fuck together, guys? I need to play some peaceful, I need to play something. I need a clip in here to save you guys from yourself. Let you fucking reset.
I just need to know the context. What am I reading? And then I can go into it with.
All negative emotions will be relinquished. All feeling will neutralize. You will be able to live a fully functional, satisfactory experience in a completely safe utopia.
It's public notice of jurisdiction outside of the fuck state system.
Right. So is this an affidavit? Like, what are you using it for?
An affidavit of truth, public notice.
Oh, okay. So it's an affidavit of fact, or
He got Chuck. Thank you for the $5. Scott, you can come back up at 58.
what just happened?
Oh, tell her about that.
If you look at the ticker running across the bottom, everybody here is for sale, and Chuck just generously donated $5 more to save us from Scott talking for 5 minutes.
Yay, capitalism!
Okay, so what should we talk about while we have 5 minutes?
Let's talk about these thirsty motherfuckers surrounding you. How does it feel to be surrounded by so many men who are trying to wife you instantly?
Well, it makes me sad, and I feel like it's offensive to my boyfriend, but maybe people don't know that I have a boyfriend.
Also, I'm married, so sorry, babe. I'm only interested in your politics.
Well, I don't know if he was talking about you. He was like talking about a generalized group.
All of the dudes on panel are trying to simp for you.
I actually just don't care about stuff like that anymore, honestly. Like, I'm perfectly fine with being single forever.
I would be in this day and age too.
It is worth pointing out. Thank you, Lindsay. I can also be kicked too. I cost twice as much to kick as a normal panelist.
Rose knows I think her and Jason are just an amazing couple.
I just think it's a shame that a lot of the people that think like us always stay isolated and independent, and we never get together and make shit happen. So that's the problem.
I'm not so much like that. Not usually, anyway.
That's why I was mentioning like the Free State Project or Prospera, because they're like making some effort to kind of congregate to one area.
Oh, and Flo, tell me when to hit the gong. I can.
Oh, yeah, we need a gong. I need a gong right now.
I will send you that little one if you want it.
Hey, dude,
you don't have to.
Get it on.
I
Bang the gong.
the offer.
Rose, real quick, what was
the difficult thing about the authentic community idea where everyone's trying to congregate to the same physical location? How do you go about filtering out the crazy people? Because we know that there's a certain percent of society that is violent and selfish, and they're just going to cause problems.
Trial period.
In the panelverse and stuff, like there's some people that just kind of get off on coming in and starting trouble. So that I think is going to be the most difficult challenge for these communities, is kind of like dealing with the trolls, so to speak.
Well, libertarians have standards. They have the non-aggression stuff, so that's a good start.
I know, but there's legitimately psycho people, and like people have psychotic breaks. And I'm just saying, like, you're not going to have a police force, is what I mean. Is like there's a lot of stuff that.
Oh yeah, we will. Private security is still a police force. It just doesn't have to be a government monopoly on police.
Yes, good. Then if they have a police force, that's awesome. That's the solution. But there's other communities that I've heard of where they don't take that measure, where they just hope that everyone gets along.
Oh no. That's those hippie communist bullshit camps. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the right-wing stuff. It's
so the more that you're telling me, the more that I think that it has a lot of potential. But there's just so many factors in terms of just like food, electricity, water. Like, how are people going to work together? What if there's a love triangle between people that are very influential? Just anything can happen. So the main takeaway is, how much faith do we have in people's ability to cooperate with each other without the threat of violence from a government? And I'm laughing because it shouldn't be a no-brainer, but I guess we've just been so socially engineered to want this like mommy education, daddy government, everything figured out for us, so that we're just in this rat race. And freedom can be quite scary, but I think that it's worth it. But that's coming from someone who lives off of manufactured medical supplies. So like, there is a secret part of me that like depends on the system and is okay with just existing the way I am. But I'm rooting for all of the people that are healthy and strong to get away from it.
I prefer Eastern medicine, where they actually cure the problem and don't just treat the symptoms.
Speaking of the PMA that I was getting involved in and helping start and stuff, it's going to be all about the Holistic Healing Center for my area, because we are all being like actively poisoned by DuPont. Like, I live in the Mid Ohio Valley, where like it's a thing, a huge thing. They call it Chemical Valley around here, but there's kids dying of cancer just from drinking the public water. So like the public water is terrible, like terrible. But people are so poor around here, they don't give a shit, and they keep getting paid by DuPont every couple of years. So like I'm doing a free holistic healing clinic within the PMA just outside of city limits.
You get what you pay for.
Lax laws too.
That's why I don't like taxes, because that's what taxes lead to, is bullshit like that.
No, not if it's free. Like,
the interesting thing is the amount of cognitive dissonance people have about how much we are part of the system. Even somebody like me, who's an independent contractor, I work for myself. We're on YouTube and StreamYard talking to each other through tech made by slave labor in China. We're all part of the machine that we like to other and distance from ourselves. It takes a lot of cognitive dissonance for people to act like we're not.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say.
We're treated like Pokemon cards.
I get just like Rose said, she's dependent on the system of medicine. I'm retired California prison guard.
No, I wasn't saying medicine. I don't take freaking medicine. I depend on life-sustaining medical supplies.
I forgot. I know you don't like the medicine part, but the medical system in a way.
That's why I like to use the slave machines to teach about conservatoria flow, to get them off of the government.
I know you're exactly the prototype of who I'm talking about with the cognitive dissonance.
Oh no!
How would I get off? How would I get off my system? I mean, I'm 66 and I get my retirement from the prison system. I mean, I am the system.
Right. And I'm not suggesting that you should not be part of the machine. You've already paid your dues. You might as well get paid
you're part of it.
But
yeah, I pay taxes.
People like to distance themselves mentally when every day in every way they're all part of the machine. We're all part of it.
Yeah, unless you go out in the desert or the forest by yourself, no internet, no electricity.
Now you're speaking my language.
What about being born without a social? That seems like the only way to do it to me. Like, to have
economically, it doesn't matter. I heard it was fucking Paul Enslaved, I think, acting like he doesn't contribute to the system because he doesn't pay rent. He just lives with somebody who pays rent, right? If you're consuming
you're part of the system.
If you're consuming things out of the system, you're contributing to it. Now, here's the thing. Here's why you don't need to make up excuses for it, is because there is no way to not be part of the system, at least in America.
I even own my land, but I still pay rent to the government through property taxes, so there's no way to escape it.
I bet you won't do anything about it but complain on the internet.
You're right, bitch. I'll complain every night.
Your clips are amazing, Flo. I'm glad I'm new to them.
At least until I get to my bunker in the woods, then I won't complain on the internet anymore, because I won't even use the internet.
Yeah, but you still had to use their shovels, their stuff. No matter what you do, you can't escape.
They don't own anything. They don't own anything.
About slowing down the velocity of money. The fewer times you exchange dollars, whether it's a tangible dollar, digital dollar, whatever, to whoever, the slower you can make the velocity of money, that's removing value from the system. So if people want to do the most they can to fight the system, fucking repair a shovel yourself. That's like, just try not to spend money.
I do free work. People do it for me too. Like, it's a community thing.
That's what I'm talking about. When I started this channel, it was in the personality type Jungian psychology sphere, and I sold typings. I sold personality typings, and the I guess there's only like one person in my geography who I did this with, but anybody in my locale, I said, you can only pay me in silver. I wouldn't take dollars.
Not gold?
No.
Did that help?
I mean, I only charged $100 a round, so it was, nobody can shave off a piece of gold that fine. But ultimately, it was a moot point because nobody carries silver anyways, so they'd all have to just use dollars to buy silver. But
I have silver Lego bricks in my pocket. Well, not these pants, but they're in another pair of pants right now.
I still wish we would organize enough just to have like a meeting spot where we all talk about these ideas together and maybe try to buy land near each other and stuff like that. Just a little effort. That's all.
Hey, Rose, were you guys on Globebusters today? You and Jason?
No,
Jason is a federal agent.
Jason's meeting with someone, and he might be acting in a thing, and in this thing that he might be acting in, there's a tarot reader who's playing his girlfriend, and I'm like, oh my freaking God, there better not be like a sex scene or something.
Oh, Jason's her boyfriend.
I'm just finding this out right now. But no, me and Crow were on Globebusters. But because of what Jason just said, I forgot the other thing that I was going to say. Oh, it had to do with people getting together. About the I wish there was a place, like, instead of like a Tinder, a place for people to meet each other who had money, who would want to support people who want to work and do a certain thing.
There's a site for that. Hold on.
I know, but
Craigslist?
You want like a smaller network that's like in your niche community, I think, because you want to have like similar likes and dislikes. I don't know. I wouldn't want to use Craigslist or any big, huge platform.
There's a website I have bookmarked somewhere that you just go on there and type whatever you want money for, and rich people just go and choose what they want to fund.
It sounds
how about this? How about something more realistic? Like, what if there's people that want to buy like a lot?
Sounds like Angie's List or something.
No. I'm saying, what if someone wants to buy a lot of? Okay, so they want to be self-sufficient and they want to farm, but they don't want to do any of the work. So they want to buy a lot that will have a cow and a couple of chickens, and then they will have someone live there for free, but they're the ones milking the cow and grabbing the eggs and being nice to the animals.
That's happening at I forget the name of the homestead place, like about an hour and a half from me.
You hire caretakers, what you're doing.
Yeah.
Well, I would do that. I would do that if I had enough money to buy land really close to me so I could have a horse, because I have an HOA and I can't have a chicken coop. I would buy a little lot for maybe like $50,000 and just pay someone to and put a tiny home on there for them so they can live on this self-sufficient tiny home. And then I get love from the horse, free eggs, and then, just grow and expand my empire from there. That kind of way to find someone to like connect people in that way instead of like a love matchmaker, that kind of matchmaker where people are having a symbiotic relationship.
What theater is Jason over that? What theater is Jason going to be in?
What is Jason going to be in? What?
You said a play. He's going to be in a play.
I don't know. He said he was going. We have this friend who does special effects for movies, and the friend wants to write something. So he went down and he said he was writing something, and he says there's going to be a tarot reader, and who's the girlfriend of the pod. He was asked to be in it because he will be playing a podcaster. So he's a podcast. They were looking for a podcaster to play the podcaster. Oh. Now I'm finding out that the podcaster has a girlfriend. So are they going to touch each other?
Oh, so he's in a love scene podcaster. Wow.
I wrote him back, please no sex scenes, and then a horrified emoji, and he never said anything back.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Rose, if it's acting, it's acting. Let it go. Just hope that it makes his career go somewhere and that he doesn't do anything that he would be ashamed of.
No, if he's gonna be kissing girls as an actor, I'm gonna become an actor too.
He should tell you about it prior to that kiss. He
So that
should
you
tell
can kiss
about it
girls?
prior to that kiss.
No, so I could kiss other boys. Equal, eye for an eye.
Yeah,
Harmon knows what
I
I mean,
learned not
right?
to date a porn
Yes,
star.
I
Hey,
do.
Rose, I'm not looking. I don't have any interest in you other than your mind. You seem like a very intelligent person, and I've got a scatterbrain, but I have a lot of past and present and potentially future ideas that may go someplace. So I mean, this is the fastest blowjob I've ever had. From well, I'm not going to live that down.
Speak of the devil, he's coming home, and I'm going to get to find out more information. So I don't know if I should stay on the air and ask him when he walks in.
Oh God!
Yeah, it's good content, Flo.
Is it good?
Yeah. I mean, I vote yes, of course. Everybody loves like eavesdropping on other people's personal shit.
Jason is so mellow. Such a mellow
Can
person.
we ask questions?
He says that when I'm live, I have a completely different voice, and there's an effect to my voice. So he'll know by walking down the hallway that I'm not on the phone and that I'm live, because I do feel like I'm projecting out to an audience.
I have a light up sign.
It makes sense.
Hey, Flo, did you hear me with Jack's stream the other day with Grace and Ben came on, and then I put together the "Don't You Think It's Silly"?
I didn't. Jack's been kicking me extra fast lately.
He really. There was a follow-up to that, and it is a Michael Jackson thought of a song. Paul made fun of it because I said breathy. You know, it had the feel of like probably Billie Jean and Beat It. It was written in that mellow tempo or that street kind of vibe, hip hop R&B that he did those in. But there was a second one that I wrote called User Friendly that kind of relates to situations like this where people are taking advantage of. I don't want to sing
Manson song,
but I'll share if you want to hear these lyrics because it's
Scott, we'll see you again at 14.
Scott got bought out again, bro. No one paid it.
Thank you, Chuck.
Is that not funny, Rose?
Around here between Chuck and
it's great.
Harmon, it reminds me of the 2-question game when we used to
Yes.
Yeah. See, I used to do this before you did this, Flo. We used to bring people on, and there were so many people that were waiting in line to talk to us, and they were only allowed to ask 2 questions. But if they would say, "How are you?" they wouldn't realize that was one question. And when I was, just hang up on them as soon as they asked.
The worst was they go, "Can you hear me?" Because they want to get on the that's a question.
And your youngest daughter.
And you're just gone. They were rude about it. You guys were crazy about that.
I just love how Chuck's comments. Chuck's not even saying like he went from Scott to the basement to who to the basement to just basement.
He didn't even have to tell you who, right?
Right. Like I got to appreciate both of them because Scott with his insanity is making it so that Chuck pays my bills.
That
is too funny.
It's such a good idea. I'm happy for you.
It is. That's the best. I can't believe it. I just found out about it tonight.
I'm surprised I haven't. Normally, I get more name changes because name changes actually I just upped the price to $3. Normally, I get a lot more name changes, and then there's the memberships. My membership scheme is simple. It's to be the cheapest. So I only have one level of membership. It is $1 a month. And people end up gifting memberships, and I have a special.
Thanks, whoever gifted me, by the way.
Right, but it's cool because people get to see who's lurking in the chat.
Yeah.
Also, Rose, do you understand by what it means by changing names? Like they got Paul as a hypocrite on his name now. You can pay to change and put a name on whoever you want.
That's so cool, and I wish I was good at coming up with clever ideas like that, and I hope I will in the future. Okay.
How do I do that? I want to change Rose's name. What do I do?
Okay, so over in YouTube tab, right by where you type in the chat box, there's the $sign. You use that and do it, and it just type name change and then what you want it to be.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna mute myself for a second to Go say hi to
Sure.
Jason,
Fight with Jason.
and then I'll come back and report if there's anything worth sharing. And then I'm probably going to say goodbye at that point because I would rather hang out with him, of course. So I'll be right back.
I can't wait to get my dick wet.
Now for something much the same.
Yes, Miss Queen.
Thank you for letting me come up. I have a headache, so I'm going to go. Thank you for letting me
good luck
come
with your
up.
headache, and thanks for joining.
All right, thank you. Y'all have a good night.
You too. Oh shit! When did Scott get to come back up?
Yeah, at the 9 minutes.
5 minutes.
Oh yeah, he's still got 2 minutes. Scott, you still got 2 minutes.
Yeah, Jason just got home and Rose is talking to him about the scene as a podcaster. That's crazy.
But yeah, I respect her a lot. Like I was just joking with the whole marriage shit. Like I just
know
like that. But
yeah, I was just giving everybody shit. But this is Rose's first time coming up here, and she's, like I said, I don't know her all that well, but she has Z's respect. And Z is, maybe I wouldn't consider him respectful with women generally as a rule.
I'm just glad I woke up and this was going on. Like I'm still half asleep. I haven't even taken a piss yet.
Man, how you like Rose's memory flow?
That shit was wild.
Mine used to be like that till damn convertible accident.
First thing you said, is this real? Is that for real what she just said? Like episode 522 is for the blah 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 blah, you know?
Right.
And she can do it. It's amazing. And I don't know your name, sir. It says the Corbitt now or something.
Just call me Aaron Corbitt. It doesn't matter which.
All right, Aaron. And so, yeah, I can tell you were impressed with her too. You liked it. It was refreshing, isn't it?
There's conversations I'd like to have with her, but like everyone was like talking. There's a lot of people, so like I'm one of those people that prefer like at most like 3-4 people in a conversation, like kind of like it would be now, until Chuck came back.
That's Scott.
Or Scott. It's all gravy.
Or baby shit. You offering me candy now?
Here, you want some candy?
This is getting fucking
Hey,
slow.
Scotty
Keep
boy.
it back again. The fuck ever. Serious, legal, lawful. You want to talk about some of that flow?
Man. Okay.
I just have two questions.
You know what? And here's the thing.
I have two questions.
My heart can't take it. My heart can't take this much bullshit. But you are bringing in the shekels.
It's a cash grab right now. So this is what brings in the shekels. Let me ask you: the IRC Title 26, the Internal Revenue Code, has an enactment clause. Can anyone ever tell me when that enactment clause was used? Second to that, just one other quick question: does it in Title 26 define income at all in the Internal Revenue Code for the IRS?
Dude, for every law, there's a way around it. Like laws are meant to be bent or broken.
Or just disregarded.
Or circumvented, whatever.
Disregarded. But I would think that an enactment clause means it must be enacted. And I would also think that if there's no definition for income and you're paying income tax, then they need to figure out what the fuck they're actually asking you for.
No, we need to band together and putting up with it.
Did you look what I wrote in the back?
Fuck no.
No, I got it on
read that. Read the back chat.
Scott.
There's 3 paragraphs that'll take you a minute and a half. I wrote it yesterday.
All of your little citations and shit are cute when you're in a fucking hole waiting your next court date.
I've got.
And you got some big motherfucker like Harmon here watching you masturbate.
I don't stay long in the fucking pen. I know that I'm up against, some stupidity when you go out the front door. But my thing is I think I know that I overstand them.
You have to have a memory like Rose and know every single law to get buy anywhere with the judicial system.
You have to also have some sort of leverage. That's what people keep ignoring. They act like knowledge of the intricacies of the law is leverage.
Corbitt, the leverage that I had when I walked in is knowing what was going on and putting a notice of liability down in front of the fucking public defender and the prosecuting attorney.
Scott, you got arrested breaking into your motherfucking
Can't help getting arrested. It's whether or not you get fucking
like. It would have been goddamn near impossible for you not to get the case dropped. You were breaking into your own goddamn house. This is not illegal.
Without an attorney, anybody else would have been slaved up.
It's like how the narcotics task force won't hit my house again because I have videos of them beating a 67-year-old woman for no reason.
Right. Some sort of leverage.
Trust me, knowledge is the leverage. You got something on somebody, you're walking.
That's not knowledge. That's blackmail. You have to have more than the knowledge.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
If I didn't know what I knew, they would have put me right to a trial and locked me in the back while they had it outside of my own fucking purview.
Dude, I got jacked. Like I was doing some sign dancing for a cell phone company once, just temp job, and some dude came up just out of nowhere. Don't know who he was. Cracked me in the head. Apparently, this dude got paid to get a one of those keep away things on me, and then called the cops as soon as he like cracked me over the head and took off running to a vehicle. And he thought he knocked me out, but I didn't go down. Anyway, cops got there, and basically I was taken. They didn't believe a word I said because I didn't even know this guy. I didn't know he had paperwork on me, like saying to keep away, shake weight. Nice. Anyway, dude fucking he basically called the cops and had me arrested for something I didn't know what was going on. And then they took me to the top floor of the hospital where they put the psych patients because I was asking for water. I was dehydrated. It was 100-some degrees that day, and I was dancing with the sign. And then all of a sudden all that shit goes down. And
Did you show us the sign dance?
No.
I never knew it was called sign dancing.
That's what I call it. I mean, it's not like I don't like throw up signs and spin and shit. I just fucking get down with whatever music I'm listening to and just go crazy with it like I'm raving out or something. I don't know, but that was a while ago. But anyway, they took me up in the top floor of that hospital, chained me to the bed, a nurse and a cop literally chained me to the bed instead of giving me water, like because I said I was dehydrated. And they were basically torturing me for 2 hours, and there wasn't shit I could do about it.
You're lucky it didn't last 2 weeks.
I wasn't even admitted to the hospital, like paperwork wise. They just straight chained me to a bed. Yeah.
How long did they keep you there?
About 2 hours. While they tortured me, and then they let me go.
Now you're lucky they only kept you 2 hours.
But I still had to go to court for the whole thing that dude that I'd never met before. Like he, I guess, walked in my yard, took pictures of himself with my house in the background and this and that as evidence. He made up some kind of Photoshop fucking Facebook Messenger conversation and shit. And I had never met this guy before in my life. I don't even know who perpetrated that behind the scenes. But I mean, it could have been a lot of people.
I sent you money. Did you change the name? How's it change the name or what?
Say what?
Rose is back. Rose, give us the digs.
I sent the money.
It's really interesting. So Jason's character doesn't just have a tarot card reading girlfriend, but also the audience doesn't realize it at first, but he's got a friend who's actually a ghost, and the ghost is off of a character that was called the Axe Murderer of New Orleans. That was like a real axe murderer. So the ghost that is his friend is that guy that was supposedly real.
So is the ghost hot?
I looked at the book. He brought a book back about the axe murderer, and he does look like he's a good-looking guy, the ghost.
So your boyfriend doesn't have to make out with the good-looking hunky ghost.
No, I don't think I'm gonna have to worry about that.
I hope the writing's amazing because it sounds not interesting. But the writing's good though. I mean,
Jason said that at first it was supposed to be a comedy, but there was a lot of like sinister aspects to it. So he was like, "Are you sure you want this to be a comedy?" But I understand the dark humor and the comedic aspects of dark comedies that his friend is into. So it all made sense to me the way he was explaining it to me. But it's going to be a totally on a shoestring budget, and they're going to have to like try to just grab footage around the French Quarter without permits and stuff. So it just sounds like a really fun project, and who knows what will come of it. But I'm so excited that Jason has this fun and interesting project to work on, because I have a lot of acting experience and Jason doesn't have any. And so I'm excited for him because now he's going to
You see that, Rose?
Nice. That's awesome.
I want that hat to have my children.
And look at Scott.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we've got the Pope hat,
All
the
right, hold
mask,
on.
and the gong.
Scott, get teabag, motherfucker. Teabag. Oh,
That's a lot of hats like that in New Orleans, Flo. There's a lot of those hats in New Orleans.
You're gonna see yourself in a fucking. Were you trying to punch up at my nuts?
Timothy the Enchanter has arrived.
There you go, Rose. They're all dressed for you.
I was here. It's great. Oh shit! Have I tried these glasses with these yet?
All right. It may have come to that.
What?
Don't get shot with these. I did teabag Scott. I'm never gonna fall out of the chair teabagging people. I'm too nimble.
So you didn't get my name change for Rose? I sent it to you on that $10 chat thing.
You know, I'm not seeing it.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Let me scroll up.
Never mind. There was a second button I had to click. I thought I clicked it all. There it is.
Rock and roll Mary Poppins. Thank you for the donation. We will gladly change her name post haste.
I would like.
Thank you.
I would like the community to like help me find a nice luchador mask to wear when I'm streaming. I need.
I don't know what that is.
Whether it's Mexican wrestling masks, like you ever watch like WCW, like Rey Mysterio Jr. and all the high flyers, you know. I've been looking for one. I can't decide on one.
I used to have, when I first started doing this shit, I had like a full scale replica Predator mask.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was so dope.
Yeah.
But I dropped it and it broke.
That just reminded me of the Fulgore mask I had from Killer Instinct back in the Nintendo Power Magazine days when you could like buy stuff out the little catalogs that came with them.
Yeah, Nintendo Power, I had that shit too. Oh,
yeah,
Scott,
they had a Fulgore mask.
This, Scott, but you got teabagged with the belt undone too.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Have you seen Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
That was the first movie I remember in my life.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Well,
That's
I used to
hardcore.
that mask really realistic, and I used to love like putting it on at bars and then dancing like really expressively with my like arms out, really, you know what I mean? Like it just looked funny because I have a really small body, but those masks are so big and they like went all the way over my shoulders. And the tongue was so big, and the tongue went all the way out of the mouth, really, really, really long, but it was still attached to the mask.
I feel like I know what mask you're talking about, sort of.
Yeah, I wish I had a picture of it, but my Facebook profile was terminated and I didn't back any of my shit up. I always thought that Facebook was going to be like my lifelong diary, and I was wrong.
That's what I thought about MySpace a long time ago.
Oh, yeah, I used to think that about MySpace too, and I was sad when people stopped using it because of Facebook.
I thought that it's like one of those places like Face the Jury turned out to be, where you just sell people, like prostitutes and stuff like that.
It's so sad. It's so sad.
That's what I heard.
I learned HTML for MySpace.
I learned HTML from shit.
Man, I had Zanga before all that
using
shit.
Notepad.
What about
Zanga?
Friendster?
Say what?
What about Friendster?
I've never heard of that.
Me either.
Oh, okay.
I'm an IRC person. Like, like I went straight from AOL when I was like 8 to IRC and like stuff like that.
I stayed on AOL to AOL Instant Messenger all the way up to like at least 2010, maybe.
I have every AOL Instant Messenger conversation I've ever had still because I don't delete anything. I have like 14 terabytes of crap, which mostly got deleted whenever whoever hacked me stole or deleted whatever the military interviews I had for the whole opioid epidemic. So I'm kind of pissed about that. But
I wish I had all of my AIM conversations that I ever had, and I thought I always would keep them.
Oh
But
God,
I don't even know what happened to my
what
AIM.
the fuck would you do with those?
Read them and then just reminisce.
Come on, Flo. That's obvious.
Man, I got AOL or I got Facebook Messenger messages that like I just never imagine reading them. You ever go back to like old ass Facebook, like old school Facebook, and look at your posts back when it was just like college students when I was in college? It's like,
yeah,
like prior to 06.
Hey, I'm drinking a paint can. Ha ha ha. You know, like.
Well, remember at the beginning of Facebook, it would be like Flow State is having a great day. So all of the statuses, it's like at the end of a sentence. You know what I mean? So nobody complete sentences. It would just be like,
yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
The worst I ever did, Flo, is I sit there in my old emails from 2000 and 2001 and stuff when I was dating and stuff. The dumb shit I wrote to a girl. I'm saying I can't believe I wrote that. You know.
I got
think how Scott will feel someday.
Oh, it's horrible.
Oh,
you think you're being cool and saying stuff, and you know, I figured out, write something if you can write the girl, let it set for 2 months, then reread it and see if you still want to send that. Because I tell you,
I'm the opposite. Everything I say gets dumber by the year.
Me too, bro.
I don't understand, but I was reading stuff I wrote the other day. I'm like, damn, I wish I would have wrote a book back when I was that age.
My brain gets smoother the more I talk to people like Scott.
Some frat boy douche with an earring who wants all the time, energy, attention, and resources. He's the hit. He's got an earring, and he's got that frat boy douchey college vibe that you all love so much at the sports bars. He wears his hat backwards and makes little quips, so he's cool to hang out with.
Rose, ever thought of writing a book?
Everyone always asks me that, and I don't know if I will.
I've thought of you writing my book, so don't worry about them. Just think of this. And I'm not worried. Jason will help write it. He'll help you write it. I'm telling you.
Your show.
What's that?
Your show is just worth watching for that.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
If I think of little moments, can I send you clips to add to your repertoire?
You can.
Have to.
Yes.
I might have
absolutely.
To do
what I told, and I'll leave my email backstage. What I told I got asked this last stream, and I said, honestly, the easiest way for me to get things would be to have them uploaded, unlisted, and so I can just download them, because text and emailing videos kills the quality.
I put shit on Dropbox.
No, that's worth it to me. That's so easy to do. What's the difference between uploading to YouTube and attaching to an email? I will certainly upload and share an unlisted link if I ever think of something good. I mean, I have a lot of things that are funny to me, like inside jokes with myself from my past, because like I was a certain age and in a certain situation when I saw the clip. And so it's meaningful to me. But like just recently, I just thought of this moment from a show, and I thought if I did something like that, like what you're doing, that would be a moment. So now I have a funnel for these ideas.
And people especially like the ones that have, other characters from like,
fuck you, you punk ass bitch. You ain't nothing but a no good dick sucking dick in the ass punk bitch ass slave. Still doing paperwork. You're fucked.
See, I don't know if you've met Wizard, but he's somebody who comes around these parts, and most people who watch me know who that is. And it's like, so people really like, characters that they know.
He has calmed down
quite a bit. He has calmed down.
I can speak Furbish a little bit.
If I wanted to make a GIF of myself, then like if I wanted to be really excited and cheering like a cheerleader, then it would be relevant.
You're already a huge hit. I don't know if you can tell. Yes,
but Rose,
a good Rose clip would go nicely into the repertoire. I could use a good Z clip. I don't have it, but you know what? He doesn't have an intro song for me, so
could we?
There's already a GIF on me on Telegram from when I was on Let's Make a Deal, so I have to figure out how to copy a Telegram GIF.
You can download those. Just download it straight to your phone and then upload it as a video.
Okay.
With what's his name?
I'm gonna do it right now. Hold on.
She the type of chick that had 4 kids and 5 different baby dads. How does that happen? She don't even know.
You like a spider monkey.
Rose, make my ego better. When I kept telling you to come on tonight, did I help you come on, or were you going to come on anyway?
No, you totally helped. I definitely. I was just looking around.
I get a point. Give my $10 back.
You drove me to.
Was that my $10 back, Rap?
That was my awkward laugh. $10 back. That was my deflection.
Excuse me. You need to get a
What do we got here, Pa?
It's a flipper zero. No, you can't really see the screen. Can't really
I want to see one. I want one of those. That's pretty cool.
Well, keep hitting storage units.
Yeah,
that's not where I get my shit, bro. I do barter a lot. I do a lot of crazy shit.
And if for anybody, I think most people have probably seen it, but this is the first clip I ever uploaded, and it's also probably the number one fan favorite.
I also got this fun little guy that I modded.
It says something about the type of people that watch me, doesn't it?
There you go.
Radiation.
It's a Wi-Fi pineapple.
Pineapple.
That was hilarious. That one. What was that from? Just
I don't even know.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
Device
it's
you can get. It's for pen testing. Wireless
and I
things.
download it.
Oh,
are you scared of clowns, Rose? Are you scared of clowns?
I'm just a little bit disturbed by the idea of someone wanting to be a clown.
After I watched Killer Clowns from Outer Space, my mom thought it would be funny to put a 6-foot stuffed clown in the back of my closet and keep it there and not let me remove it. I'm not even joking.
Oh my goodness.
I still can't sleep with an open closet to this day.
That's hilarious.
Was your mom a drinker?
No, she's never done drugs in her life, actually. She just likes
we got to vote for Wiz being the favorite. I actually Wizard and the one where Tommy. I had some, I'm not gonna say who it was, but I had somebody contact me privately and say, "Could you remove those clips? They're like getting into my sleep because they're so like hostile." Where's the Tommy one? And I of course didn't.
I know you can get some good ones, Rose. I know from some of the things I've seen you do.
Here.
By Flow State. Faggot, white trash, Missouri motherfucker.
And you protect him, Rose. You protect him.
Well, I don't pledge allegiance to any individual. I am but a floater amongst humans and observer behavior.
So you're
well, that's why I call her Mary Poppins. She loves everybody.
And I'm floating like Mary Poppins floats too.
Yeah, there you go.
I was thinking of something else entirely.
That was great.
She really does love everybody.
I really do. I can't help but find things about people that I appreciate, and I see myself in other people. And so I the part of myself in those other people, it stands out to me, and I want to be with it and learn more about it.
So incoherent that it's barely comprehensible.
I believe understanding is intelligence, like by definition, in my opinion. So
I believe the more I find out, the less I fucking know.
Scott, you're already working with a deficit, my ninja.
I ain't lying. Oh, wait, you said that. Never mind.
I need a screwdriver and a drink, so I will return momentarily.
Home Depot.
Hey Rose, does that eclipse come through where you're at?
No, about 6 hours away from me, and it's going to be about 80% where Crow is, and so he's going to take his hydrogen alpha solar scope onto the 80% eclipse, which hopefully will be interesting and beautiful.
His what?
He had hydrogen alpha solar telescope.
So you can probably get headshots from miles away with that.
Well, the only real thing that you would want to use that telescope for is the sun. But this new telescope that he got, which is really, really nice, you can pull out the solar filters and just use it as a regular telescope, in which case, yes, you could look through enormous distances. What people don't realize about telescopes that are that magnified is that you wouldn't even see someone's head if they were standing right in front of it. Something about the way the telescope works is it's only looking far away.
Is it terrestrial also besides celestial? Does it go on the? Can you look on the ground like far mountains and stuff?
Long way away.
I don't know. I almost feel like what you're talking about, like on the ground, is not for telescopes this magnified.
I know they're called terrestrial ones in the celestial. They do have the ones that will go on the ground that far, but they're also made for the looking at the moon and stuff.
Right.
So
right.
I didn't know if
As
that
it
it's probably real.
it comes out, it's probably terrestrial. Probably
It
for
has
the terrain.
There's all these like phrases I know about the telescope for when people ask about it, but I don't know what it means. Like I know that the telescope also has a double stack on it, quote unquote, but I don't exactly know what a double stack is. I can look it up, of course, but I'm busy uploading this video. There we go.
You got her going, Flo. I tell you, you're lucky to have her on your show, buddy, and she's lucky to be on your show too.
Yeah, it's a feelings mutual. I'm going to the chat in the actual chat for everybody and putting my unlisted link there. Oh, wait, I'm not I can't. Sorry. I'm going to give it to you. Oh, let me text it to myself because I'm on a different computer.
This is getting complicated.
You're not a moderator yet. You can't do that. Link it.
Right. So I did not do it. But here's the problem. I went through all this work to share this GIF, but there's no audio, which makes it just kind of lame and gay. So.
Chuck's gay, and I don't know why he hasn't given Flo another $5 yet. It just really pisses me off. He's so lame and acts like he has game.
Just the opening frame is pretty funny. All right, I'm gonna share a screen and we'll take a look at this. Oh my god, I wish that there was audio.
Well, I have the clip, so I could go back and make a brand new. I could copy it. You know.
Yay!
Was that Wayne Brady?
That's her.
Yeah, I gotta have some audio for it, but I want to use.
No, I know, but when she was it Wayne Brady that was the host?
Yeah, that was Wayne Brady was the host, and he told me that he thought I made a good decision.
Cool. What'd you end up with?
Well, maybe you guys should watch the clip.
Well, fuck State blew it. You didn't play it.
I did play it,
but there's no audio.
No
Scott,
audio.
Here, pull that fucking back hook out of your fucking eye sockets, and we'll take another look at it.
With audio, I didn't see what there was.
I'm glad you just get excited, Rose. I'm glad you didn't get excited.
I'm getting you the clip, like the whole clip of me winning.
That's what we want to see.
Charlie Sheen.
Yeah,
winning?
no, not you have to look at the silent one anymore. Wait, where is it? Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, yeah. Here is me winning. Well, to me, I won. I felt like I won because I left with money.
Is that a disclaimer?
Yeah. Well, I didn't get as much as I could get, but I got enough. It was good for me.
So how copyrighted is this? And is there a timestamp, or should I just play from the beginning?
It's just the beginning is me. I just took a video of my TV when it aired.
Okay.
I love your outfit. Is that Pan Am?
I rented
I was going to ask if she was a flight attendant.
Nice to meet you too. So welcome to Let's Make a Deal. So I'm gonna make a deal with you, Lindsay. Awesome. Do you want let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, what is it? $20,000? We're gonna give you a chance to win $20,000 right now by playing Smash for Cash.
This is too cool.
Shit, I forgot the screwdriver.
All right, Lindsay, here's how it works. That's awesome. Now, Lindsay, we have those 10 pigs. Jonathan Mangum has protective eyewear in the mallet because he enjoys inflicting damage upon these pigs. 8 pigs, they have cash. That's the treat. 2 pigs, they have zonks. That's the trick. You will choose a piggy bank. For every dollar in your bank, you'll move up.
This is fucking awesome.
By the way, just Coke. Mexican Coke.
2 kilos.
Can you imagine if she got excited?
Imagine if she was Little
You can
John.
stop it now that you got to the part where I said woohoo, yeah. But I could have won $20,000, but I won 3.
I'm safe. I'm glad you sent me the whole thing. There's good shit in here. I can I'll have to skip, and I'm actually here. I'll put this in the main chat. I guarantee there's plenty of clippable moments to work with there.
Fucking priceless. That was awesome.
Especially when you are really special, Rose.
Well, I really wanted to be picked. And so while I was waiting in line for 8 hours and everyone was like putting on their costumes and shit that you rented from the Let's Make a Deal company while you were waiting, I noticed that the producers were all standing around and watching the people waiting in line. So I thought to myself, they're picking right now who they're going to pick. And so I just kept acting like that for the whole
That's it.
And then they come up to me before a commercial break because I'm such a bitch. I was like, I need my own chair. I don't want to sit in my wheelchair. So I'm like sitting in some like wooden chair that they brought me so I could freaking relax my back. And then they come up in the commercial break and they're like, would you mind getting back into your wheelchair? And I was like, yeah. I look at my wheelchair, of course. So I knew that they already decided in advance that they were going to pick me because of the way I was acting in line.
Congratulations. What year was that? Is that recent?
No, that was in 2013.
The Millers. I was trying to think how old that was. I saw the commercial for the tagline for it. I was like, but I didn't know.
Was that in Vegas?
No, just Burbank, California.
Nice. That whose line is it anyways? I used to watch those guys. They are funny as shit. Drew Carey, him, the other 2 fucking guys. My God. Do you remember that show at all?
I love that show.
It was a great show.
Really funny.
I stopped watching TV like around 10 years ago. So that reminds me of when I used to watch TV.
Good job.
Yeah. Did
you listen to Obituary at all?
I don't remember.
Obituary.
Another band that you might like.
Sounds like a metal band. Oh, yeah.
No, that would be probably.
Oh,
no.
Hey, I remember what I was going to bring up earlier, and I totally forgot, it's so random too. I'm pretty sure Rose was talking about. Hey, hello, Rose. I am Ragamuffin, Ragamuffin Christopher, whatever. But yeah, I heard you talk about Ronnie James Dio. I got to see him in 2003 Probably the greatest concert I ever saw. $25, folks. $25.
Wow.
Motorhead,
That's
Dio, and
amazing.
Iron Maiden.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I almost
It was
fucking
incredible.
show.
I
Yeah.
didn't see him, but I've seen so much Iron Maiden with Motorhead. And I've
Very
seen
cool.
Motorhead with Megadeth too at multiple times. I remember I was close enough to Lemmy that I was admiring the little laces on his
Some frat boy douche with an earring who wants all the time, energy, attention, and resources. He's the hit. He's got an earring, you know, and he's got that frat boy douchey college vibe that you all love so much at the sports bars. You know, he wears his hat backwards and makes little quips, so he's cool to hang out with.
Mr. Y.
Why would you put it forwards for that clip?
Because it's Ninja Turtles. He makes fun of us for wearing Ninja Turtles too.
Someone like Flow State is going to be power hungry and controlling and want to be egoic.
Really?
Do you feel competitive for that designation, Rose?
No. You can have it.
I just had sex. I'm about to eat nachos. It's the greatest moment of my life. Unless you screw it up with whatever it is you're about to say.
That's like good.
Welcome to the stage, Mr. Pie. I did not mean to cut off here the old school rock reminiscing. Me and Mr. Pie, or Mr. Y, I guess, we're from the late 90s, the golden era of rap rock. You got your Rage Against the Machine. Obviously, we both like the Fred Durst shit.
We're gonna break stuff right now.
What?
It's about to break.
Can you rap break stuff right now on the spot?
I can I play it?
No. Can you rap it right now?
Oh. No.
Oh, okay.
But maybe Mr. Y can.
She said bullshit. And I'm about to break.
Those days when you don't want to wake up, everything is fucked. Everybody sucks.
Everybody
You don't
sucks.
really know why, but you want to
But you wanna
justify
justify.
ripping someone's head off. No human contact.
Yeah. See, so Rose knows all about it.
Your best bet is to stay away, motherfuckers. It's just one of those days. All about the he said, she said bullshit.
You
That's
better
right.
quit talking that shit. You be leaving with the fat
Earlier,
man.
Rose was
Leave it
trying
with
to
a fat
argue
lip.
with me about that shit.
Mr. Y, she has photographic memory. Trust me. She just pulled up a song from 5th grade that she only hadn't talked about for years. So she really does.
I played that song loudly when I was mad at my parents.
There you
Oh,
go.
And
I
that's-
made him happy.
We were rolling around with Limp Bizkit and Linkin Park like every day, all day.
It's one of the days.
Oh man, I was that fucking kid standing outside the corner store listening to Limp Bizkit on the Discman, right, and smoking cigarettes. And every time an adult would look at me like this kid shouldn't be smoking cigarettes, I'd be like,
Hey, do you guys realize that is like a conspiracy mind? You know when Fred Durst like left the building was when he did the Blue Eyes thing with Halle Berry, and I think they probably were like, "Hey, let's make a contract with."
Dude, when he left the building was when he was on stage at Woodstock 2 in 99, I think it was. And he got on a fucking piece of plywood and started crowd surfing. And his security detail went, oh, fuck. That's when he left the building and everybody was having the best time. Then they went from there to a rave and burned the whole place down.
but have you seen the Dad Vibes music video?
From Durst.
I'll play
I
it
didn't
without
realize I
audio.
muted.
It's fucking awesome. And it's I mean, it might just be more awesome to me because it looks just like my dad.
No.
So hey, by the way, what did I miss out on after this? What did I miss out on all day?
I'm not
It's
fucking
not worth
backing you up.
repeating. It's not worth repeating. You should have been
I was
there.
singing, but I was on mute for a long time and I didn't know it.
This dude right here, that looks just like my dad, and so this shit cracks me up. I had to send it to my parents. There's my dad dancing down the steps.
Does that also look like your dad's house?
My parents have a nice house. It's not that nice.
That was really nice.
Dude,
Yeah,
is
no,
that,
it ain't
does
like
he have
that.
the pineal gland? Does he have the pineal gland on that end of that set?
He did. Did you just see him doing the hands around it?
Yep, I saw it. I'm such a conspiracy theorist. I guess I don't know if I should tone it down or like turn it up. You know?
Thank you for your contribution, Chuck.
Damn it, man. I don't understand.
Scott, you can come back up at 17.
How long was I muted, by the way? I didn't realize it. I muted myself and didn't know how long.
You said, fuck, I forgot a screwdriver.
Oh, damn. Yeah. I sang and everything else. I was singing Limp Bizkit like back there too.
Hey, Rose, what are you doing up so late? I don't know.
I'm a huge insomniac and I never sleep almost ever.
Okay, but I never see you on the Panelverse this late. So what's up with that?
I just haven't been expanding my horizons with the Panelverse. I usually just only go on the Zetetic Warrior show, and I'm just learning about all the other panel shows now. Like I followed Harmon here tonight.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. What's with the 10th degree guy?
Well, she's in.
Hey, guy. Fucking catch up. Fucking low vibration pieces of shit.
No, I like Rose. That's why I only get like little snippets of her, unless you're gonna do the Crow 777 thing, which I appreciate. But
this is a treat, isn't it, Mr. Y, to have her here?
Yeah,
this is her first time here.
Apparently, I'm Mr. Y.
She's already integrating herself into my clip repertoire. I maybe even have a note card. I hear she's got a filing system.
Do you see her name I gave her?
Rock and Roll Mary Poppins.
Yep. See, that's her. I got her approval.
Yeah, I really like the name.
97 to 99 was the best years for music. I think I was muted when I said that.
Oh, look, it's Boy. Hoe gaat het, Boy? Alles goed met jou?
I didn't know that you spoke Europe.
Ik spreek een beetje Nederlands.
The fjord.
Ik hou van het Nederlandse taal. I feel like everyone knows what I'm saying because I'm saying it passionately, but they don't know.
That sounded like you were blowing your nose.
Weten niet, boy. Weten niet, boy.
Are you really saying something, or are you just making up gibberish sounds?
Ask Boy if I'm actually speaking Dutch, and he'll tell you.
Boy will fuck with me. Boy fucks with everybody.
Zeggen dat ik spreek goed Nederlands.
Sounds German.
He's but tell them that I know everything and that I'm speaking well.
So good, so good.
So, have you guys ever done have you looked into the German language? It's it's the most literal, even though it sounds everything sounds hostile. But if you the Wiener Schnitzel, all of it is
Wiener Schnitzel.
It's pretty fascinating. And I used to do the Jesus Christ, I can't think what I was doing. When I was just learning Spanish. Anyways, I looked into the German language too, and I thought, oh, that's funny. And I'm German too, but
I can't help but think of Uncle Sven on Ren and Stimpy show for some reason.
Uncle Sven.
Well,
it's my Spirit. I've been saving it since I was a child.
I forgot about Uncle Sven.
I don't know much about the German language, but I love Dutch, and I love the words in Dutch that they don't have in English, like the word gezellig. There's no English translation for gezellig. The definition, I would say, is a cool, chill, friendly, cozy experience. So we hebben een gezellig keer right now. We're having a gezellig momentje, where we are just having a cool, friendly, cozy feeling together. And then I love the word nuchterheid because
yeah, I do too.
Mijn vrienden zeggen dat ik heb niet nuchterheid and ik moet work of my nuchterheid, which is like I shouldn't be so boisterous and out there and American. If I want to be more Dutch, I need to have more nuchter, which is to kind of like tone down and be more quote unquote sober.
I feel like that's the language of vagina. The nuchter. What's it? It's
vagina?
Yeah, because she said it's warm and cozy.
That pussy better stank, otherwise I don't want it.
Because she said it was like warm and cozy and inviting, and that's the language. And you know, everything that she said described that.
So it's the
I
mother
Göbekli
language.
Tepe shirtless in a loincloth smoking the oh shit, I forget the line. It's on the Dracula flow. Damn
Y'all
it.
are weirdos.
Can't believe.
Have you seen me shirtless around here? Is that what you're saying?
No, I was trying to quote Dracula flow, one of the parts.
I can see your name must not be Mr. Y. What's your name? What do you go by? I apologize.
Can you guys believe that Lindsay just called me trashy?
I hope them aliens are real so that I have more things to fuck.
That was sarcasm, right?
I listen to that thing like 10 times a day for like a month, and I still think it's funny every time. Like parts 1 through 4.
It is funny every time.
Is that
Lindsay needs to understand the reality of the situation. Is
I don't give a fuck. I can already tell you that now, but go ahead. Man, I don't give a fuck about shit tonight. Like, let that be known. But go ahead and say it.
Is that Z's
Better than
Lindsay
that,
or
it's
not?
good.
Is that
That
Z's
was
Lindsay?
Cynthia.
Oh, okay.
So I think we should like print shirts that just say, "I only date conspiracy theorists" or some shit. I saw a meme about that today.
My next line of merch has already been mapped out, and it's going to say weapons grade autism, because that's basically what happens on these panels.
Yeah, because if you disagree, then it's that. Gotcha. That's funny.
But you can't say what happens on this panel stays in this panel. It goes everywhere.
My only good merch is fucking or bombing for peace is like fucking for virginity. I don't know.
Yeah, like t-shirt. What's on this channel doesn't stay on this channel. That would be a good t-shirt.
Oh no, it's all and the things we talk about here tonight, I'm sure, and I haven't watched it enough lately to know, but I'm sure tomorrow will be discussed over on Paul's. Shout out to one of my fans.
Hey, what if you had another one that just said panel walker?
I don't think that would have
I
a
usually
wide
call
enough
this
people.
shit
I don't think that.
Hollywood
I think
squares.
that's too niche. Too. Yeah, I don't think enough people would
know
get
what
it.
the hell you're talking about.
I
you
might
know.
even have a link.
Huh?
Sorry.
About who, Gary? You get emotional about Paul?
I don't understand why Voy disappeared because I want more reasons to speak Dutch, but he's not here, so I don't have anyone to impress.
I think he left because Bex wasn't here.
Well, boy.
The link's right there. It's literally right there. One click away.
That is so funny. But it's so true.
Speaking of things Dutch and strange word names, right? Cobbler. Well, the old-timey term is an individual that makes shoes, but then there's a dessert item, and I was like, yeah, somebody needs to like have a restaurant with like, you know, a wooden shoe, like an elaborate decorative wooden shoe, like the cobbler served in the wooden shoe. That's the thing.
Hey, Ragamuffin, weren't you dropping some tracks or something yesterday?
I was dropping bars, tracks, ideas, thoughts, all sorts of thingamabobs.
How did it go?
I don't know.
Did you drop them? Is Flo gonna drop
over on Cynthia's? Over on Cynthia's, he did, and his recordings didn't come through as well as I think him just like spitting a bar on the panel did. That was my opinion.
Would you like
Yeah,
me
I
to
think the
freestyle?
audio levels need to be adjusted.
But
Yeah.
you know, I was listening on. I was joining on a cell phone, so I was listening on. It was like, you know, a play through a play.
And I'm not being facetious. I was genuinely curious because I'm not a hater. I'm an elevator. I'm an elevator, not a hater, bruh.
It's
Word.
Elevator. Sorry.
And my dad
Rose,
works on
you
a
sing the other
splitter.
day? Oh, I apologize. Rose, on the other day you were on a show and you sang a song, and you had a little time rough starting, but at the end it really ended nice. What was that and where? Do you remember?
You talking to me?
Rose, she said a song
Rose.
days
I
ago
thought you
on
said bro.
channel.
Well, it was a shit. It was that Nancy song. I don't remember the name of it, but it's like a Christian lady. It was recommended by Zetetic Warrior, and it was a duet we did, right?
Right.
It wasn't That's What Friends Are For, but it was something like Nancy Griffith. Is that her name?
That's who you guys said it was.
But you don't remember. I don't remember the name of the song. I learned it just for that recording, and then I forgot
Once
it.
you quit singing partly and you finished it off, it sounded much better.
When I quit singing, it sounded better when I stopped singing.
Yeah, he quit about the end, and you just kept going, and you finished it off nicely.
I've heard Rose sing. She sings very well.
Thank you.
I wish you wouldn't have missed her earlier song. I wish if Flo would let you do it again. Sing her puppy song she sang in 5th grade.
People can just rewind. People can rewind.
All right.
I can rewind, but I already know Rose has talent. Not simping, by the way. Just
I know.
Observing and reporting, as they say.
Everybody simps on Rose, I've noticed. So you're fine simping on Rose, I think. As long as it's respectful simping, I think that it's par for the course. I'm noticing.
Yeah, I this wasn't supposed to be for simping. I couldn't find my shirt that said your mom rated E for everyone. So
What's that one say?
Sex with your girlfriend. 74 people like this. T-shirthell.com.
Oh, the internet age. Us old men don't think of things like that, but when you see it, it's funny.
You can submit stuff to tshirthell.com and like get paid for the idea too.
Really?
You used to be able to anyway. Yeah,
I forgot about tshirthell.com. They have some great shirts.
Oh, I got a great shirt off anti-political tees or something like that. It says "Make America Goy Again" or something. I don't know.
My dad got me a shirt once that said "heavily medicated for your safety."
I got one that says "Can't sleep, clowns will eat me," and something about penguins doing something crazy. Oh yeah, one by one the penguins steal my sanity. I remember that one.
Imagine that on your shirt. How old were you when he bought you that shirt, Rose?
It was like 2005.
She doesn't give up her age easy, does she? Dates.
No, I was about to turn 20.
About 20.
I'm about to turn 39. I'm really proud of my age. Every year that I keep going is like just another victory. And it's weird to me when women don't want to say what their age is. Like all of a sudden they start, instead of saying their age, they'll say something like 40 something. And so I keep waiting for the moment to reach the age where I don't want to say my age, but I'm still the kind of person that wants to say like 39 and a half, so I maybe reach that moment.
Only toddlers say halves.
I guess I'm a toddler. But isn't it weird when people are like, my child's 35 months? It's like, don't make me do
35 months. Yeah. That's true. You should have seen Flo played a day or two ago a picture of his daughter when she was 5 years old, carrying on a conversation with an adult. Like she took control of the conversation. It was just so awesome. He thought we didn't want to see it, and everybody voted no. Keep playing it. We want to watch it.
Well, I think it's important to talk to children like they're adults and not to baby them. And I would never show my children like a television show where they're learning things from talking animals. And I would just like keep it real.
Like that one with the elephant back in the day with the 3 creepers in the elephant, Skinnamarink TV or something like that.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
creepy.
I am. I was, I get a little self-conscious about things like that because everybody who's got kids wants to show you the pictures and videos of their adorable kids, and you don't really want to see them most of the time. So
no, that one that's very nice, very nice.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
I just adopted an adult daughter, so
nice.
No, I actually did. I gave her a better chance of life. She's brilliant, but yeah, that's another story.
Flo's daughter is a mini Rose, I bet.
There you go. You should have seen her in conversation. He talks to her like an adult, like you were saying, Rose. He raised her like you were saying.
I just went straight to all business. My dad just my after school care was being in a real estate office, making those manila files and making the hole punches and sticking the metal through the hole punches and then putting them back and then putting the sticker on the tab. That was my after school care, working. And then eventually I graduated to calling on like foreclosures and trustees with this like hotline. And so I just wanted to be a hard worker and succeed. And I think that just
Do you know a lot of trust law?
I don't know about trust law specifically, but I can point you in the right direction of the people that I think know the best about trust law.
I have an ironclad trust. I just want to add to it and not screw up the words. That's my issue. And I don't want a lawyer involved.
We'll find details of that, but I would know exactly where to direct your question if you needed assistance with that.
Well, Scott 2B is back on stage now. Well, you could probably address it to him.
I want to try, like when I was a kid, like we would just go into this trailer, like this container, and there was like 12 of us, and they would, handcuff us and then shut the doors, play like maybe some light music, and then just like the next day you wake up and keep working.
Did you just trust that they wouldn't pull down your pants and, well, is that what you were talking about in your trust law?
99% certain that the suspect is black.
I was there. It's great. No, were you talking to me, by the way?
Corby, you have a bulletproof trust? No. Pie.
Yeah.
I don't know where he went. What he was talking about. What were you talking about, Pie? I got completely lost because when I came on, we were talking about.
I was making a joke, but it fell flat apparently.
I'm sorry, I kicked your joke.
Yeah, so it was a bad holding children against their will joke that I'll never do again. So
lesson learned.
You were feeling sorry before you finished, huh?
I like my women like I like my coffee, ground up and in the freezer.
See, they laugh at that one.
These cops are interrogating me about an ounce of weed as if I didn't kill an Applebee's hostess 2 miles away.
Let the silence wash.
Oh, that is so great.
So, Scott, we need Ragamuffin to do a rap. Or
I'll freestyle.
All right, yeah, that's what I was kind of waiting for.
All right, hold on. I got bling on my boots, too white for some grills. I'll steal all your bitches and I'll munch on all your pills. Cause I made to the Corbitt and I got big balls. You always see me pissing on the motel walls. Fuck, I lost it already.
Oh, that was...
And I'll munch all your pills. I can get down with that.
Well, you see, I used to run around with these Kiss boots that had like a 3-inch lift and they had chrome toes on them and shit. Cause I was a Hot Topic fucking kid or young adult,
still
whatever.
Get my earrings from Hot Topic. I can't even lie.
I get mine from eBay. Fuck paying for Hot Topic
if
prices.
you look real close at the earrings I'm wearing right now, it says "chill, bitch."
Wait, what was the other one? There was Hot Topic, and then man, in my mall there was. No, it was damn it. Now I'm gonna have to look it up. It's gonna bother the fuck out of me. There's 2 places that I went because I had Jinko's. I was a skater boy, dude. And actually, my friend, we would go to the thrift stores because we were poor, and we would just buy all these pants, these corduroy pants, and he would cut the seams out and make like his own corduroys.
Dude, I get Jinkos at Goodwill and then resell them if they're in good condition on Poshmark for like $300.
Yeah, those old school Jinkos are worth money.
Yeah, I just sold the kangaroos, the originals, for $700 the other day. Like,
I had black.
I'm still waiting on money from eBay for that too.
I had black.
Corbitt, I want you to sing Macklemore, popping tags.
Say what?
Macklemore, have you ever heard that?
I've heard of it. I don't know who it is.
You never saw the thrift shop? Anybody know that song?
The other one,
artist.
Oh, the other one I went to was called Gadzooks. So there was Hot Topic.
That was my first job. Is Gadzooks. That's how I got into Jinkos. I used to have these skin tight hot pants that like the cheerleaders all slapped my ass in school. They're like silver, and you had to clean them with Windex and shit. They're pretty sweet, but someone busted the ass out of them because they don't have no ass like I do.
Dude, I had these black corduroy Jinkos that I wore until they were destroyed. I believe. I was so proud of those. I thought I was the coolest dude ever.
I got the short version of these, like the black ones.
You guys must talk Dutch like Rose did, because I ain't gonna stand a damn word you guys are talking about. I'm not.
This is like a 90s.
They still
this
make
is like 90. This is like 90s kids shit. Like this, I grew up. Yeah. I was born in 1980, so like.
Yeah, I'm an 84 person.
I was born in the 50s.
Yeah, so
in the 90s, them big ass jeans that you could fit a skateboard in the pocket. Those are Jinkos.
Yeah, the legs of the ones that are about that big around. When I had shoulder length hair and braids and shit, like in junior high, like teachers used to think I was a chick from behind, like because they thought I was wearing a big ass skirt.
Well, I know my boys never wore them, and they graduated 2004. I totally, I guess it was me that I never.
It's back now. Huge trend now. Like you can sell them for outrageous prices now. Because all the kids are into that shit again.
Who graduated around 2004?
Say what?
Who graduated around 2004 in this group?
I graduated in 03.
I would have graduated in 2003 if my parents didn't send me away to a bad girl boot camp in Utah.
What'd you do? You were telling that story, Rose. That was fucking insane. Like that entire story.
I want to hear the story. I haven't heard the story.
Yeah, so let's start all over at the beginning.
No, so Rose. Yeah, so Rose one night.
Not you.
I know. No. I'm just gonna tell you when I start. Like I'm gonna tell when I heard it. Like
we don't need the prelude.
Okay, all right. I'll yield. I'll yield. Rose, you do.
You'll yield Rose's story back to you, Rose.
Well, it was just because that's how I've heard you speak before, but then I had never really heard your story, and that's the one thing that changed everything. And so that's kind of a crazy, like that to me gave another outlook of who you are in general, and how most people don't even understand if you're just on a panel and you're speaking. All the shit that you went through with this other shit, and you're not a victim at all. And that's the story. I was like, holy fuck, like this girl's a fucking beast, like on another level.
Yeah, I don't want to put her on the spot or anything like that, but you are a rock star in my opinion. You are as intelligent as I believe you could be. Every time I listen to you, I just feel like you're a smart girl.
That is so tremendously kind. I don't know what to say other than thank you very much, and that I appreciate the male validation immensely.
Rose, I got you the rest of the way.
And I'm drier than the fiery pits of hell.
Tell your story now, Rose.
Okay, so I was 17 years old, and my parents had it with my rebellious behavior and not coming home and sneaking out and partying way too much. And so I was down at my dad's house for a family trip to San Diego. And while we were on the family trip, I met somebody on AOL and bought cocaine and went into the hotel room with my little sister and did it in front of her. And my parents were like, this is the last straw and our last chance to save our daughter. So when we got back to Calabasas, they had it all planned out already. Like they had already been talking to the company to do this to me. And they were just like waiting for the perfect moment. And so the stars all aligned where I called my friends to come pick me up and bring me back to Santa Barbara. But my parents wouldn't let me. And I got into a fight with my dad and I tried to kick him and he grabbed my leg and I fell back and I broke my elbow. And so they took me to the ER and they wrapped me up and I went to my grandpa's house that night. And then my Uncle Harry opens the door I was sleeping in and I had my arm in a sling and he said, Lindsay, because that's my government name, by the way. My name is Lindsay Rose. And so me and Lindsay Smith have a special bond because we're Lindsay's with an A. But anyway, my uncle comes in and he says, Lindsay, there's someone here to see you. And then these two big huge guys come in and they're holding handcuffs up in the air. And they, do we need to use these? Now, in my mind, I just thought that this was a positive thing for some reason. I thought I had won something and I thought I was going to be on TV or something because I'm like, this is so organized. I'm honored. What is going on? And so I'm like, no, you don't have to. Let's go. And we get into the car and I'm like, where are we going? And they're like, that's FI, which stands for future information. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so organized. And so we get to LAX. And I'm just being really friendly with them and telling them about my trip to San Diego. And then they just sent one of the bodyguards home because they didn't, have to pay extra to have 2 security people. So I'm on the plane and I'm talking. And then I land in Utah and there's someone with a sign with my name on it. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And so I get transferred to these other people who take me in the car and they're like, so you can eat anything you want. What do you want to eat? And I'm like, I'm not that hungry. I, recently did cocaine and I just don't feel that hungry. And they were like, believe us, pick something good, eat something good that you really like. And I'm like, okay, I guess like whatever, we'll just get like chicken fingers somewhere. So I forced myself to eat some chicken fingers and then we drive for hours and then we're in this place called Duchesne, Utah, and it's the middle of nowhere. And then all of a sudden I'm in this waiting room with these other crying girls who are not happy to be there. And I'm like, what the heck? And then they take me into a room and this is where it got serious because they made me take off all of my clothes and they strip searched me and they made me bend over and they asked me if I had a tampon, and thank goodness I didn't, because if I had a tampon, they would have made me take it out and replace it. They made me take my hair tie out of my hair and replace it with another black hair tie. And I was like, wow, this is so psychological. And then they bring me this army outfit and a brand new shirt and a Gatorade and a cup and a Kelty backpack. And I'm like, this is so crazy. What is going on? And then they put a cast on my arm. Like this doctor comes out and they put a real cast on my arm instead of just a sling because they didn't care that I had a broken arm. And then we drove 3 hours into the middle of nowhere. And then they gave me this orange vest. And I was like, what's the orange vest from? And they're for like, so that you don't get shot because it's bow hunting season. I was like, ooh. And so I get out the car and I see these other girls in the same military outfits in the distance, but they say, stop, you can't go with the other girls because right now you're on Earth phase. So you have to write down your whole life story while you're on Earth phase. And they had like a representative come and bring me food. And so I had to be segregated from everyone. And I guess normally people just like write 5 pages and they take like 3 days. But I spent like a week writing like 40 pages because I didn't give a fuck about being alone and having people bring me my food. And then after I finished my life story, I got initiated with a trust fall into fire phase. And then everyone in there was so traumatized, but I just saw it as a big joke. And instead of it being like, oh, this is Survivor, I'm trying to stay on the island, I was just like trying to play by the rules to get off the island, you know, and try to get back home to Santa Barbara. But then after 10 weeks, the psychiatrists who work for the company said I wasn't ready to go back to my own environment. And so they sold my parents on this freaking halfway house in Montana. And so I was going to the University of Montana and taking existentialism and acting and taking piano lessons from a woman who dressed just like Ursula.
They gave you acting classes
at the University of Montana because I was in a special pilot program for problematic teenagers. So
okay, it just seems like what you wouldn't want to teach a problematic teenager.
I know. And so I went home to Santa Barbara for spring break from the halfway house, and they found weed and another questionable thing that I won't talk about in my room. Okay,
it was Anita, wasn't it?
Well, I don't want to talk about it.
I've got a felony for distribution of meth. So you come on, you're amongst your people.
I shouldn't have even alluded to another thing, but basically I got in trouble for birth control and weed. And then they told my parents that I couldn't come back and they were shipping all my stuff back. So I was just back in Santa Barbara and my parents were like, no. Yes, I'm back to stay. And so that was that. And then a year later, I had my stroke and was paralyzed. So honestly, the backpacking experience was the coolest experience. So much fun. And I'm so happy my parents sent me there, because if it wasn't for that experience at that time, I never would have had anything like that, with the low impact backpacking and shitting in a hole and cleaning your cup with dirt and, you know, only being able to communicate with the feeling statement and learning knife safety. It was all good shit.
Nice. All right, hold on. Thank you, Uncle Fatty, for the 5 membership.
Have you heard the any of my intros flow? Because I got that Red Alert Command and Conquer clip, like, except I used the first to last version cover of it, that song.
I have not.
Did you know at the very end of that those high pitched sounds are actually like Hitler yelling?
Yes, I did.
Most people don't catch that.
Yeah, no, I like that clip a lot. I've used that track for a lot of other videos back in the day.
Yeah, I just got a part of it on a few of my intros from my earlier videos. I don't know. I like making intros for things. It's like,
and that's it was always one of my, because I've got a little I don't have it ready here, but you know, one of the what is it called? Anyways, I've got an intro clip, and I used to, for every video when I was doing more recorded videos and less streams, I would do a different song overlay onto each one, and that was one of my favorite things. But since getting monetized,
like wrestling intros. Like wrestling intros.
No, well, I mean, it was the same visual each time, but it was a different. I would play a different song over it because basically I like my music.
I just like making wrestling intros, and I used to backyard wrestle for like 12 years, something like that.
Oh, you were jumping off roofs?
Yeah. No,
hey,
we were like beating the hell out of each other, like real style. real chairs, jump off a trampoline and fucking or throw someone off a trampoline through a real table, not one.
Yeah, so my aunt moved in with us when I was we were doing parquet before it was like popular. So in my room, whatever you call this shit, I don't fucking know. Parkour. But anyways, we would sneak out of my fucking window, or I would, to meet all my homies. But it was on the second floor of my house, but I would run off the top of my house and just jump and do a tuck roll to play ninja at night. And I was like, putting the pillows in so my mom wouldn't catch me and shit. So we would sneak out at like 4 a.m, me and all my fucking homies, just to play ninja, like Ninja Turtles.
Dude,
Sounds
me
really
and my
lame.
buddy had ninja suits when we were 13. Used to run around with a katana on our back at 3 a.m. That's how I got my curfew violation. We made grappling hooks out of the curtain.
And we did absolutely nothing. We weren't doing anything besides sneaking out. Like
we were robbing the junkyard.
We weren't even sneaking out to like drink or do anything. We were just sneaking out to play ninja, which is so stupid. Like, I look back at this now and I'm like, it's kind of funny. And then, but with the trampoline thing, dude, we had a trampoline, so I would jump off my roof onto the trampoline and do like a trip, like a backflip. I could backflip into my neighbor's yard from the trampoline. And my aunt would be like, that was living with us at the time, they're like, you can't be jumping off the roof onto the trampoline anymore. It's like, it was, you know, boys will be boys.
At any point did you decide this is not fun?
No, it was always fun. I would do it right now if my body would allow it.
If I could still fit in my ninja suit, I'd still wear it and run around chaotic.
No, I mean, honestly, like, that's the whole problem is everyone's like, you need to grow up. Well, what the fuck does that mean? Like, our parents aren't even grown up. Most people are not even fucking grown up mentally.
I don't know. Changed.
I believe that, like, whenever you look at the world through the eyes of, like, with a childlike wonder, then your ability to manifest goes up, like, so much more than it does whenever you're all acting boring 9 to 5. Like,
I agree. I agree.
You can't tell people that you jumped off a fucking roof onto a trampoline, jumped over a fence, and did a backflip into your neighbor's yard. That just sounds like bullshit. And why would you go out at 4 in the morning? Your parents would be coming up early, and I would think we left at like say 9:30 or 10, went over the roof without them even knowing. We were gone before they were in bed.
Yeah.
Okay, Scott, but everything I say, I don't just make it up because I don't. That's just.
Dude, I feel you because my life sounds like a fucking movie or bullshit story. If I was,
you could ask
tell half my stories in here. People would just not want me on anymore.
Yeah, I mean I wasn't a bad kid, but I did. My mom was a gymnast, so I was trying to do like double backflips. Like my goal every summer was to go to our local swimming pool thing. It was called Civic Center, whatever, where I lived in Irving, and they had a really huge, tall diving board, and I was trying to do a double, like a 2.5 off the top in front of everybody all summer, and then also
2.5 what?
Flip, just a front flip, 2.5. It's not
okay.
It's not that asinine. It's not that. Yeah, it's not that asinine compared to what people can do now. But
I had to go to gymnastics because my sister was a cheerleader, so I feel you on the trampolines and shit.
So my mom had a business called K Flips, and so I could walk on my hands as far as I can until the blood comes to your brain till you can't do it anymore. So, and I remember crying as a kid because I couldn't do it like she could. And then I finally, once you're able to do it, it's like riding a bicycle. Like you can walk on your hands. So in my junior high and shit, that was the pictures that they took was me.
Oh, hell no. No, we're not doing
Back
this.
to Rose. Yeah.
In my junior high. No, we're not doing the same thing either. You know what? We're winding it down. But I want to go back to fucking the changing eye color.
Oh, yeah, I was talking about that in chat when I
saw that.
When I was living in the halfway house, I was doing all these cool things. I was going to Native American sweats, and I was going to Buddhist like ceremonies. There was this like Tibetan Lama that married this like hot blonde chick who like learned the language for him. And it was just all these funny things. And one of the things I did was I taught cardio kickboxing to children in this little like suburb of Missoula, Montana. And I absolutely loved setting up little obstacle courses for the kids to go around and like do little drills. And one of the girls was schizophrenic. And she was acting totally normal all the time to me. But then one day she had an experience where she was just extremely delusional and paranoid and not acting like herself. And I was so fascinated by it. And I really wanted to console her and like, I mean, I knew this was impossible, but I wanted to like fix it, right? So I'd get right up in her face and her eye color changed from brown to blue. And I couldn't believe it because she didn't even look like the type of girl that should have blue eyes. You know what I mean? Like it was just weird. And so I almost wondered if she was, if it was supernatural, but I'm not really good at believing in supernatural things as much as I want to. So when I brought it up to the dad, he just acted like it was a normal thing that happened. So I don't know what else.
That's weird.
My ex-wife's eyes would turn from blue to green when she got angry. And and after our divorce, she's been diagnosed with not schizophrenia,
bipolar.
No, DID, dissociative.
I used to do that trick like in the craft where someone that doesn't know you well, you tell them you have a certain eye color, and then they see that eye color until like you tell them that it's not that color. But
no,
like
that's not at all what I'm
happen.
talking about.
I know that's what I thought you guys were going to talk about though. Like, I don't know.
So what does it mean?
Well, I don't know. And so that's why when I saw your comment, it's sort of like, what does it mean? What do you think it means? I have my own theories. I don't even really know how to articulate them though, because they're so incomprehensible. They hardly make sense. But like,
I'd like to hear it.
So my sort of a parallel thing, my aunt has a friend who works in a psych ward, basically. And she said that people with multiple personalities, you can give one personality medicine and the next personality will not piss dirty for it. It will not show up in their UA.
That's unbelievably crazy fascinating. Hard to even believe.
Ghostbusters lunchbox.
Right. So it makes me think that I don't know. The chick whose eyes would turn colors, was she white?
No, she was Native American. That's why it was crazy that her eyes yeah, it was crazy that her eyes were turning from brown to blue because like I said, she didn't seem like she looked like blue eyes naturally were a thing, They looked fake to me. That's why it seems natural.
And I don't know, like, I guess I don't even really have the pieces of the puzzle put together in my own head, but something, I mean, there's to me something, if you understand how DID works, right? It's early trauma and you fracture a psyche, and something about babies all having blue. I don't know.
My ex-wife used to say whenever I got pissed to the point where I'd just be smiling and just not saying anything, that my eyes would turn black. And she used to like run off like scared, but like I didn't believe her, but it's possible.
Well, what causes the pigment in the eye to be the way that it is? So it almost was the pigment being drained because the current mental state was taking up too many resources of a certain vitamin or mineral. So that's how the eye color can be explained. Like in the same way that you get an adrenaline rush when you have this psychotic break, it could drain something from the eye.
Maybe it has something to do with co-creating reality.
Go on.
Yeah, maybe metaphysical.
Yeah, it could just be something that happens because of our energy state. Like, I don't know. I don't really know where to go with that. I'm kind of still half asleep.
Maybe it has to do with melanin production because it says that melanin is what controls eye color. More melanin makes brown. So this is why we're seeing things go from brown to blue. But you said blue to green. So if you're already blue, how interesting that it would be.
Everyone with like the red hair, like blue-eyed giant or dominant genes, whatever they're called, like they usually have that green to blue thing, especially RH negative people.
Well, yellow and blue make green. I wonder if it's, if you're outside, if it looks more green.
I don't know. I've seen
Well, I mean,
my
I was
ex-girlfriend went
with
from
my
hazel to
ex-wife for
blue.
over 4 years. I saw her angry inside as well.
But could have been the lighting. I mean, like instead of fluorescence, more yellowish light.
Scott, I'm not going to answer that.
Yeah, my ex-wife said my eyes, even the whites went black. So I don't know. I just thought it was a big pupil thing.
So I've heard that about me. That my shit will go black. Actually, if Katie,
maybe it's a real thing. Maybe I never put any thought to it. I just thought my ex-wife was just crazy and wanted a reason to run off screaming.
Your pupils get big, probably.
and I always wrote it off too, and I guess I still kind of do because I mean it's hard to take something seriously that you can't see, right? But I've been told it by a few different people that when I get really angry, I get stone cold calm, and my eyes go black.
Yeah, I smile like the Joker, and mine do the same apparently.
Like black, like you see how people get their eyes tattooed in prison, that kind of thing.
No, like the sclera things, like contacts that cover your whole eye, like those kind of black, like a dude from Mudvayne.
I don't know what kind of black because I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen mine either, so that's just what I was told.
The white parts of your eyes too, or just the iris?
All of it.
I don't know. Actually, I guess I've always assumed it was just the iris, but I've never really, I don't know. Actually,
yeah, my ex-wife described it as the whites too. So I don't know. I haven't seen mine either because butthole eyes, eye holes. I wish you had the clip from Rick and Morty to pull up about eye holes because it's funny.
Lindsay had an ex-boyfriend whose eyes would do that. She slapped him out of it.
On the bed.
Yeah, my ex-wife was a con artist, so
woke up and became less distant. So it feels like anytime that I've been told it happened, it sort of feels like I'm dissociating.
I may have accidentally said blue to brown earlier, and if I did, I just got it backwards and misspoke. It was brown to blue.
I think that's what you said.
Could it have been like a hazel, or was it dark brown?
I just can't say I remember. It definitely wasn't too dark brown. No, I would remember if it was like really, really dark brown. She had like just nice, normal brown eyes. And then it was just like kind of like a draining of sorts.
Yeah, I've dated a few people that had like a lot of the Native American genes. Like I got a lot of them myself, but like my eyes only changed from dark gray to like bright blue. But all my ex-girlfriends that I did that were like that, they had like hazel, like a dark green, and they would change to blue based on their mood. Like you could always tell the mood by the color of the eyes. I don't know. That's probably not the same thing though. I've never seen brown. That bugged me out.
Yeah, I mean, going from blue to green is see, Lindsay's does that shit too. When you get mad, Lindsay, yours goes from blue to green. I just unpinned the link, Lindsay, but if you want to join, I'll drop it back down. So Lindsay's probably got schizophrenia as well.
Nice.
Like, I don't know if it's completely related to that. I think the green to blue thing based on mood is a genetic thing because I know a ton of people whose eyes do that, but they're all female for some reason.
What about people who have two different color eyes? Crow has a blue eye and a green eye.
That's cool. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about any of that. Mine are just always dark.
I wonder how rare that is. How much of the population has two different eyes?
My ex-wife actually was a Krav Maga teacher in the Air Force.
So she can fuck you up.
She tried. I wouldn't let her punch me in the face more than twice. I had to hold her down so she wouldn't. Then she'd like do the whole 911 and hang up dial thing, just knowing the cops would come. And I'd usually have to beg them to not take her away because she was all over the place, here, there, and everywhere. Long story.
But I mean, I got to think that all of the mood based, like with the student with her eyes and my ex-wife, and like, you know, even ours when they go black, like I got to think all that's in some way it's a dissociation sign. I don't know why it would manifest that way, but that seems to be the common thread.
The hazel to green though, my people I've dated, they've just been happy and their eyes turn green and then blue whenever they're a little more sad, or gray, whatever. Like it was just based on their mood 100%. But other than that, I agree completely with you.
So Rose, at any point during your trip, did you decide this is not fun, or were you just LARPing the whole, or just playing the whole time?
Oh, the part that I really didn't like was that whenever you had to go to the bathroom, you had to continuously call your own name. So you have to go, Lindsay, and they don't. And if you stop saying your own name, then they run up to you, and you don't want them to do that, right? Because you don't want them to see you naked. And so, you know, while people are like trying to poop and stuff, they're at the same time saying their own name. So I decided to stop saying my name because I understood that the purpose was just to make sure we weren't like sticking our fingers down our throats or like doing something crazy and not running away. So I just started singing songs and they seemed to be okay with it. So I would like break out the Whitney Houston or
they called me radio and lock up.
What else is that? Just like
I'd walk in circles and sing, and they'd just say switch the channel. I'd start randomly singing another song.
We had to put our dirty toilet paper into Ziploc bags, and then we had to put those into bear bags, which we hung in the trees at night. And
they wouldn't even let you bury it.
No, it was low impact backpacking, and we had to leave it the way that we came to it. And so even like putting branches back where we moved them. And so there was there was the bags with like toothpaste and chapstick and any deodorant and things that smelled. And then the Scooby bags is what they called the poop toilet paper stuff. And then the food. And the bags had to be knotted up around the tree trunks in a very specific way. And we had to do it all before dark. And because only people in water phase could have a flashlight. And I never got to water phase because of my freaking broken arm. And I realized after the fact that I could have made my cast into the top rock of the bow drill set. So the whole time I couldn't eat hot because you had to start a fire in order to eat hot. Even though we were cooking with stoves and a lighter, you had to, earn the hot food. So I would just do dehydrated beans and rice. And after the fact, I was like, I could have made a fire if only I thought to use my arm as the top rock instead of trying to hold the top rock with the cast on.
Corbitt, did you ever get to be a trustee?
Yeah, not at regional, which is where I spent most of my time because it was maximum security. It was shitty. But at prison, I was at this Betty Slayton work camp that I was sent to accidentally. It was outside of the walls. And wait, I did do a little bit trustee work at the actual prison I went to where I got to clean the parking lot. I could have walked off anytime I wanted to. But yeah. Oh, and I did road crew too. Cleaning War, West Virginia, where they got the shittiest, like, everything in the world. Like, you ought to just look it up. It's the shittiest town in the world.
Huh.
It's like a third world country. People got deer chained up in their backyard and horses and shit. And like
deer?
In like a fence. Yeah, and trees growing right through someone's porch. Like, house half dilapidated, people living in it like it's nothing. It's fucked up in southern West Virginia.
Yeah, I never got to be a trustee. The jail administrator finally responded to me, and he said, "You'll never get to be a trustee because you're too disagreeable." And I told him that he was right. So I don't know if that was being disagreeable or agreeable, but that's why I enjoyed
Passive
it.
aggressive.
Mr. Pie left. Mr. Pie and Scott got dunked. Mr. Pie left though backstage, and Scott hung around and flashed his cameras. Mr. Pie got dunked because this is the phrase I heard. And then in 4th grade, forget it. It's like I'm not doing that sort of shit.
That makes for a long night.
Speak of the devil, Mr. Pie's back.
Story.
So after listening like to that, at this point, like, is that okay now? Like,
is what okay now?
No, like those psycho camps, like, or maybe it's the same way the military is run or something. Like, are people that easily programmed where they think that's okay? Like,
Now it's like totally politically incorrect. My cousin was sent to one and she ended up talking to the FBI. My best friend Kelsey, she got sent to a really, like, I was like the Rolls Royce version compared to Kelsey, who got sent to Mexico, and she was put in a cage in the woods with nothing but a bucket and a baby monitor. And like it's not allowed anymore. I don't think you can do it to kids. I think that they still have inpatient treatment centers that aren't fun, but these, like, they even made, my mom told me that they made a documentary called Hell Camp, and she's like, oh my gosh, it's just like the place we sent you. And I was like, oh, so now it's politically incorrect and what you did to me would be seen as wrong today. And my mom was like, yeah. And I'm like,
Hell Camp starring Gordon Ramsay.
yeah, I mean that's what I'm getting at. It's like listening to the story. It's like, how is that okay, or how has it ever been fucking okay? I guess the military does the same thing, right? I mean, when you go to the military
Challenge Academy here,
it's all the same concept. It's breaking somebody down and then rebuilding them.
They wanted us to cry for our parents because we weren't being respectful of our parents. And so they needed to beat us down and show us that we were not in control and that they were in control until we turned 18. And that they were like calling us the meanest names. But as soon as we started crying for the parents, but I never really cried for my parents because I was just cheerful the whole time. And I just kind of stayed in fire phase and didn't go through the whole process. I was just there for 10 weeks on fire phase because I never was able to start one ember because of my cast.
Okay,
so had you take 2 limitless pills to limit yourself.
Yeah, so I have a question though. Like, so do you think, so it's a state of fear, right? So like, the ultimate for me would be put it in like solitary confinement, where you just have nothing to do but look at the walls, because we're not made for that, right? And so how inhumane is that? And also being in a, like, don't you know something about that, Fluff State?
Yeah, it's massively inhumane. It's psychological torture. I was only in it for 3 days, but the facility I was at right before I got there, a dude was eating his own shit so that he could get out of solitary and into a psych ward. Yeah, it's massively inhumane.
My job at the work camp was taking a post hole digger and digging post holes and filling them back in all day long for no reason.
That would be amazing, an amazing upgrade compared to solitary, at least where I was at.
I wish
you got no yard. It was 24/7 lockdown. There's no yard time, no windows. You're literally
we got classification like that.
In a dark dungeon that was 1 pace wide and like a half a pace deep.
Especially knowing like what freedom is and like what we have. If you were to throw me into that, I would rather fucking die.
When they
if I knew I was going to be in that shit for fucking a year in solitary confinement, I would rather just be fucking kill me now. Fuck you.
I got really lucky to get moved out in 3 days, because actually what happened is I got thrown in because I was throwing a temper tantrum because I was under arrest again, basically. So they put me in solitary, and then I kept throwing temper tantrum, and I was doing it loud, right, and rattling the bars and yelling so that I'd piss off the whole jail. And I kept using my shit to cover the cameras. And when you cover a camera, they have to come down and uncover it. So eventually, I spent 3 days in there with no shower curtain, no blankets, nothing. But on the third day was a Sunday, and I'd calm down. And the woman who was working that day, I asked her to be transferred to general population, and she said she would text Dan, the jail administrator, any prisoner transfer, which is what it was, has to get approval of him. He did not respond for 3 hours. So finally, she just said, "Okay, I'll move you," because she knew me by that point. I'd been in there enough already.
So what's going?
He texted back about 20 minutes after I got moved and said no, she could not move me. So I almost got stuck in there for a couple months.
So what's going through your mind? Like, I've thought about this. Like, what's going through your mind in that state? Like, what was your process?
So first there's a phone on the walls, right? So I would play with the phone for a while, and you're allowed a sheet of paper and a pencil a day, like a little golf pencil. So I would write things. In the jail, you were allowed one book at a time per inmate, but I got book privilege removed. So I'd start doing things like counting tiles on the floor, or like I'd basically take a step left and take a step right and take a step left and take a step right and try to sort of rock myself into a hypnotic state. Mostly I just tried to sleep as much sleep as I could possibly get out of myself. And when I woke up, I would try to harass the guards to get some attention and interaction there as much as I could until they started ignoring me. But
Jesus,
I can't imagine.
Like, sounds horrible. It's totally inhumane. It's horrible, dude. It's like,
yeah,
like it's mandatory in West Virginia to have classification for 30 days while they do psych evals and figure out what clearance level you're going to be, like whether you're allowed to work or have a job at all, work outside, whatever, when you go to prison, and tells you what prison you're going to go to and all that stuff. But I had to spend 2 months because they lost my psych thing. And you were in a cell 23 hours a day, no contact with anyone. But I mean, like, it wasn't as small as what you said. And we had, it was military, like everyone slept on top of the sheets. So, because you had to have your bed perfect at all times, and they'd be all walking by, cracking on your door and waking you up in the middle of the night and shit. It was fucked up. But we did get to get out for an hour a day to shower and get a book.
We didn't get that. It was 24/7 lockdown, so you never left the cell. You never saw the sky. So night and day lose meaning, and that's the way the whole jail was, not just Max.
Never had meaning.
The whole jail that I was at was 24/7 lockdown.
I would rather fucking go on the run. Fucking.
Well,
I would
get out of
rather
those places.
Yeah, no, like I've thought about that. Not that I've done anything to like require that. I've always, like, that's one of my biggest fears, and maybe it was like, I don't know if it's from a past life. I don't know, dude. I don't know, but it's just claustrophobia for me. I can climb the tallest mountain, no big deal, but fucking throw me in a box like that with no windows, no people, like, might as well fucking kill me, or I'm gonna fucking run for the rest of my life.
Well, the population wasn't all that much better because, I mean, there's other people around, and that made a world of difference. But I took measurements using squares of toilet paper as an approximation, right? It was a 28 by 28 cinder block room, all painted, everything, ceilings, floors, everything was painted white. It was all white and stainless steel with 24/7 fluorescent lighting. And I learned later that that's an interrogation technique that they used at like Gitmo and stuff to disorient people, because if you can't, I mean, it's very disorienting. But they want people to take plea deals. It's supposed to be uncomfortable, and it is low-grade torture.
Hey, guys, I'm out of here. I'm going to bed. Good night. Nice talking to y'all.
And thank you for bringing in the change.
Definitely. You get the cigarette money, and Chuck has to go without.
I'm thinking Gray might be broke. I'm surprised, like, he hasn't got me knocked off here and paying you.
Good night, everybody.
Watching
Good
the
night.
chat.
Night, Scott.
Night.
I am getting ready to wrap up too. I'm down to my last cigarette, which means it's bedtime. Any final words, thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, dick pics you want to share, vagina pics?
How about huffing spores to see tomorrow's stock market, or I don't know, slowly fade in the darkness and let the archangels take him. Me
All right,
smoking
I like that
symbiotes.
one.
I don't know. I love it. Top Shelf Zaza disrupted my circadian rhythm.
10-4. Thank you for joining, Corbitt.
Take a look at the Shimon resonance, and wherever you go, there you are. The end.
Thank you. Rose, you've been the star of the day. What do you think? Any final thoughts?
It's been really fun being here tonight on my first time on the Flow State channel. And now, before I go, I just need to ask you, who am I going to get shit from for associating with you? Because I have to figure out what I'm going to do with my chess pieces on the chessboard.
So you're probably gonna get shit from our friend Paul Enslaved. You know him, right?
Yeah,
I
I know.
just told you I want a deep experience, co-creation community with authentic and real exciting conversation before, during, and after. I don't stop talking during sex either. I know a lot of you half-dead white people out there. You go to have sex and you just don't talk. Just lay there. Right? I don't move like that. So
Well, Paul doesn't talk to me because he says he has a problem with quote unquote lust, which I don't fucking get. So it's like you don't have a mastery of yourself that you can just control yourself and have a professional off-air conversation. I don't know if he was just making an excuse or if he was being serious, but I was like, how come you've never reached out to me and I'm always the person that reaches out to you? And he's like, because I've got a problem with lust. So yeah, I don't have to worry about Paul reaching out to me because he's got a problem.
Okay. Well, so he's one. You'll get shit from Tommy next time you talk to him.
Tommy doesn't like you. Oh yeah, I saw the clips that you.
Yeah, Tommy and I have a rocky relationship. I don't know that he. Well, we're at an angry spot right now. So yeah, Tommy will give you shit probably. Who else, chat? Am I forgetting anybody? I mean, there's like OTW News, which is basically just a Paul spinoff. I don't know. I think those are going to be the main two. Jack Talcott doesn't give anybody shit, even though we are sort of on the outs.
Okay, so I don't worry about Tommy. Snafu.
Okay, Snafu Snaps. I almost didn't mention him because he's not a real anybody. He's just a loudmouth that sometimes gets panel time on some of these channels. Snafu Snaps will complain though.
Okay, but I didn't notice you doing anything wrong tonight. You get an A+ in my book so far, but that is subject to change should you do something immoral or harmful to another human being.
Well, I believe in natural law. I am almost who's the guy? No, I can't remember his name. Fanboy, the guy you said earlier.
Marcasio.
Right. So I guess if you believe in if natural law is your moral compass, you shouldn't have any issues.
Yeah.
But if it's a strictly religious one, even though actually most of the people on my panel tend to be Christian, and I think I'm a better Christian than a lot of Christians like Tommy. I am not Christian, so or I think organized religion is a mind control technique.
Yeah. I think it's just another form of slavery. People should just be cool, not because they're afraid of hell.
Yeah. I mean, the whole concept of hell doesn't even it's not even logically coherent. If you think about a loving God creating humanity saying it's good, and then, oh wait, just kidding, it's not. So what is this, an error in design here? What's going on here? But I think that religion and modern science teach people to it trains people to hold beliefs that are internally self-contradicting and contrary to their experience. So the Trinity is an example of something that people believe that makes no fucking sense at all, because one can't be three, and Father and Son are mutually exclusive from being the Father of the Son, right?
Yeah, I don't get it either.
Yeah, because it doesn't make sense, but that's I think that's what the point of it is it trains people to hold these beliefs, sort of like I believe the whirling ball in space does the same thing. That's very contrary to our experience. So
Dying for sins, someone else's sins, I don't compute how one translates to the other
right.
In any kind of tangible or even abstract way. It just sounds like someone just thought of it. And also, I think that I've seen too much astrotheology evidence for the figure of Jesus in the Bible actually being a representation of the path of the sun in the course of a year.
Yeah, agree. And if you look, and I believe, well, you're Jewish at least by lineage, right? So what do you, I view Christianity as an inversion of Judaism. What do you say to that?
I don't know much about any of it. I've always just had an aversion to religion. So, I mean, your guess is as good as mine. I have seen so much research by so many people about like things they'll disagree about in terms of like historical accounts. But to me, it just I don't resonate with religion, and it's hard for me to even stay focused on all of the stories and arguments associated with it.
Yeah. Well, I look at you can look at the Hebrew God and see there's one God made into three, basically, or four if you're, or 1,000 if you're Catholic. You've got God being made man. You've got the Sabbath being moved. Just everything about Christianity seems to flip a core tenet of Judaism.
That my parents forced us to go to temple twice a year, and we just went there miserable, not understanding anything that was going on. So I'm not even familiar with the Jewish religion, really, in order to compare it to Christianity. I know more about Christianity probably because they're much more about sharing their beliefs.
True. They won't stop it. Except for, unless you're me, I've been blacklisted from the Mormon missionaries.
Really?
Yes. My little sister married into Mormons, and you're not allowed in the temple if you're not a Mormon. And so during the time when we were trying to sort out how weddings would go, because obviously her family is not allowed in where they want to have the main wedding. Anyways, during that time, some poor boys happened to come across my house on a Sunday afternoon where I was just drinking beer and being pissy, and so I started grilling them. They were supposed to come back with the priest or whoever's in charge of the Mormon area, and that was over a decade ago, and we've moved 5 or 6 times since then, and nowhere do they come to my house anymore.
Wow. And why? What were you blacklisted for?
Asking hard questions, I assume.
Yeah.
Because it didn't make sense. I started grilling about why would you bother to come to preach to me if I'm not even allowed in your temple? Why would you have a religion? Why would you try to save souls, but you have to commit to the organization before I can know what the contents is and if I want to get my soul, putting it to them, to their tactics. The methods sort of reveal the deception.
Yeah.
So they said that they were going to come back with the top dog, and then ever since then, I've never seen a Mormon mission anywhere. And I used to get them regularly, but
very interesting.
All right, Rose. Well, I'm going to bed. Thank you for joining.
Right. Good
and
night. Have a great night.
Next time you join, I'm sure I'll have some clips from that video.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, I hope everybody has a wonderful night and sleep well, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
And beautiful viewers, illustrious chat. hang on a second. We'll find somebody to redirect you to. If you have not hit the like button, please do. If you have not clicked the share button, click share and then click copy. And that counts in the algorithm for a share, whether or not you share it. Now, here's where we're gonna go. And thank you